And we are back. And now we're going to be in the second half, the second portion of the stream. So we did the tier list. Now we're going to be doing some arcade spirits for Backlog Fantasy, where backlogs never end. As you can see, I'm doing that. La Milana on Tuesday and Thursday. And Wednesday is God Hand. Share with Shell Shock on Sunday. So we're going to be doing this all over again, except now, like, we're going to continue on with the story. Just let's see exactly just what's going to happen right now. We're going to switch over here. We're going to be doing some arcade spirits. So again, I want to thank Redbeard for that resub earlier. Let's actually get started. Should finish the story tonight. Pulling a Cody Rhodes and finishing the story. Alright. I wasn't planning on... So this game has a sequel. I wasn't planning on doing it this year, but you know what? Because I'm enjoying this game so much, I will do the sequel. Let me just adjust the audio a bit. There we go. Alright, cool. That metaphor reveal makes me wish Switch 2 was out this fall. I've just been struggling to play games on my PC. I get home from work and just want to relax in the front of the TV. Yes, Somnia, I 100% understand that. I get it. It's just... because sometimes you just don't want to be on the PC too much. You just want to be able to just relax on the couch. So Arcade Spirits 2, or Arcade Spirits 1. Eventually I'll do the sequel, which is called The New Challengers. If they decide to announce another one, I'll be shocked. Here we go. We're in the next episode. Level 7, New Game Plus. I hope you're doing good, Somnia. So let me just make sure to check. I'm just checking something real quick. I'm doing good. Just another one of those days where everything is going good for me, but I'm fine. The weather was pretty good. So we are here in the next area. Alright. It is the distant future year, 20XX. And for the first time, I am entirely in control of my destiny. I am no longer merely working in an arcade. Now, I'm working on my future. Which admittedly still involves working in an arcade, but still, my future. I'll admit, it feels weird. I've grown so used to going with the flow, letting life batter and bruise me, that having a true and honest hand on the controls is a bit terrifying. Everyone's counting on me to keep the flames of Miss Francine's Funplex alive as we move into the era of arcade spirits. And well, honestly, I'm super anxious about it all. I'm nervous. Who wouldn't be? There's so much riding on the success of arcade spirits, not just the paycheck, but the hopes and dreams of all my friends, and I can't forget about Percy's hopes and dreams in particular. Excuse me. I'm not the only one anxious about this. The stress weighs heavily on both of us. I don't want to let him down. I keep waiting for the universe to wake up and notice that I'm on a roll. If fickle fate could take away the Funplex, what could it do to arcade spirits? I know that's hardly a constructive attitude to have, but anxiety is rarely a logical thing. You can know the truth, while your nerves tell you something else entirely. Now all that's left is to get through opening day without incident. Yes. I arrived early that morning to go over any last-minute preparations and make sure everything is in order. Plus, Juniper was sick of watching me pace back and forth at home after breakfast. So she lovingly shoved me out of the apartment and told me to be productive. Now, I stood in awe of the building, the dream I poured my heart and soul into. I still barely believed in myself. I paused the moment to let the reality finally hit me, and then stepped away into my destiny. Pushing open the doors to Arcade Spirits, I was greeted by relative peace and quiet. Just the beeps and boops and people moving about doing last-minute preparations. We traveled along an arduous road ever since the great Wake Intervention Conspiracy. Gavin secured us a great rental space, an abandoned pizza place with that all-too-familiar triangular roof. Nobody else wanted it, but we didn't care about the funny shape. Quirk is in our favor. And I really couldn't have done all the renovations this place needed without the help of our financial benefactor. Hamza proved true to his word, fronting us as much money as we needed to make this happen. Now we got a family restaurant and arcade to rival Deco's Palace. Well, okay, it's very small compared to Deco's Palace, but quality over quantity. We went with a familiar layout. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, and all that to show that we got the spirit and passion that made the Funplex great. But it's not all a carbon copy. We got a few new additions that Francine would even be proud of. The video wall is a nice touch. That one was my idea. It alternates between running music videos, game promos, and high score leaderboards. See, that's actually pretty cool to do that. It's actually really cool that they do that. We also repainted and did a general update on all the appliances and fixtures to give it a more finished feel and less of a retired pizza place turned arcade vibe. Naomi and Percy worked together to pick out the games with a decidedly retro feel. Considering Deco's focus on tickety gambling-ish games, this helps us stand out from the competition. She put in a lot of hard work restoring them, and truthfully, we've run into a lot of problems along the way, but watching her tirelessly working to perfect them is inspiring. Juniper and Ashley really nailed our grand experiment into unique branding. It's completely on point. By spearheading our advertising campaign, the buzz is building. Our hype train is pulling in passengers with all sorts, and the imagery they've created will ride with them long after they left. Definitely the right call to make. All of my decisions, all of my choices made Arcade Spirits what it is. So much labor and love went into the project from all of us, and now all that's left is to officially open these doors. But before that fateful hour begins, I still want to do one last check on operations, just in case. The restaurant side of this equation proved to be very complicated. I go cross-eyed trying to parse the numbers of that side of the business. Hopefully it wouldn't drive us to bankruptcy, or the arcade wouldn't bankrupt the restaurant, or both at the same time. Hark! The great Hamza senses concern from his business partner.
Perfection.
Rest assured, Shellshock, that Hamza has seen to all that requires seeing to. Our delicacies shall ring true across taste buds across this city. I'm not sure I would consider burgers and buffalo wings as delicacies. Hamza is aware we shall never earn 5 stars with our cuisine, but we shall be the pinnacle of deep-fried foodstuffs. Today, Hamza will oversee operations. Beyond this opening day, I leave you in the hands of my capable chefs and waitstaff. But you'll be in touch, right? I need to have you jet off to like Istanbul, not Constantinople, and suddenly everything's on fire. I get that reference too. That's a song from They Might Be Giants. No matter what corner of the globe Hamza's travels taken him to, he can be summoned at the speed of light. Well, at the speed of air travel, really. And now, back to my kitchen. Our glorious future together in business awaits. Hamza claps twice before leaving in the flourish. Okay. Being partners with Hamza is going to take some getting used to. Running a restaurant and arcade is riskier than I thought it'd be. But for all his quirkiness, he knows business, right? He's rich. Rich people are smart, right? After my quick check-in, I noticed the clock. It's unforgiving hands telling me that it's not long now. Okay. Breathe, Shell. Calm down. Everything's clearly under control. There's no need to freak out. You're just mistaking excitement for terror. This is exciting. It's a happy day, the first day of Arcade Spirits. You can do this. You can do this. No, with all of us working together, we can do this. As long as no unforeseen problems pop up. Beep beep, Shell. Hearing Iris's muffled voice, I pull my phone out of my pocket and check in with her. What's up, Iris? Okay, so I'm getting some unusual pings on your social media. Someone trying really hard to get in touch with you. You said you didn't want it to be bothered today, but, well, I think you should probably respond to this one. We're about to launch the grand opening of Arcade Spirits, Iris. Someone sliding into my DMs is really not my concern right now. It's Percy's mother. She really, really wants to get in touch with you. Huh? Percy never talked much about his parents. Mostly about his sister. I was assuming we'd do the whole meet the folks routine once we were farther along in our relationship. But if she found out about the arcade through Percy and wants to offer well wishes, that could be a great emotional booster right now. How about a patch a call through to you? I guess I have a few minutes to spare before the opening. Go ahead. Well, here we go. Iris makes the arrangements for me, granting friendship status, opening messenger, setting up the cross-continental voice-over IP call, all that techie junk. Soon, a harried voice comes over the speaker. Hello? Is this MX Shock? Percy's new partner? Yeah, that's me. You could just call me Shell. It's good to meet you, Miss Sinclair. Is Percy with you right now? Well, he said he'd arrive a bit before we open. But no, he's not here yet. You need to talk him out of doing this, please. Sinking feeling commencing. I'm sorry? Talking him out of doing what? I know he'll be very cross with me for this, but I didn't know anyone else he'd listen to. He won't even take our calls ever since we had a row last night. And as she continues to explain, that feeling sinks deeper, only to rise sharply and sink again, a roller coaster of discomfort. And like that, all my concerns about Arcade Spirits fall away. I got a much deeper problem to deal with, now that I know this little bit of insider information. As much as it'll hurt Percy, I need to talk with him about what his mom just told me. The door swings open a few minutes later, just as I'm ending my phone call.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Opening day at last. How thrilling. It's even got the new arcade smell. Percy happily strolls in the arcade, a smile beaming from ear to ear. I love to share in his enthusiasm, but with the news I just received, all I can do is look anxious. Shell, is something amiss? Difficulty at the restaurant, perhaps? Hopefully not a grease fire or anything of the sort. I know I'm about to open Arcade Spirits, but this is way more important. We need to talk. She told you, didn't she? Is there any way to make this easier, or should I just dive right in? Percy? Why didn't you feel like you could tell me? I feel hurt, Percy. I would have rather heard about this from you rather than from your mother, and she feels hurt too. She sounded so desperate. Yes, well, it's not really anyone's business, is it? I'm not saying I have a right to pry, but I thought we put our trust in each other. Why couldn't you trust me with this? It was not my intent to hurt anyone, love. Except yourself?
Well,
I didn't want to get anyone's hopes up. Experimental clinical trials aren't exactly a cure. Not as such. Odds on nothing would come of this, even if I agreed to it. That's a lie. According to what she told me, your doctor sent us a high likelihood of success. You surviving your heart wouldn't be a threat to you any longer. I suppose Dr. Patient confidently doesn't quite hold up to a mom's gossiping then. Don't blame this on her. She talked. I listened. I chose to listen. Yes, we chose to listen. to something that's really none of your bother. I'm disappointed, Shell, I must say. How is this none of my bother? It's your life on the line. My life, to do with as I please. And it pleases you to die? Is that it? Percy, you can live. We can be alive, together. But only if you agree to try the new treatments. Why didn't you want to try? I'm sure I could dig up some statistics, and that's what you need to convince you that's not how this is not so simple. Not really worth bothering with at all, really. I've done enough stock market investment to know when not to put my faith in some silly miracle. You want predictable, reasonable outcomes from predictable, reasonable actions. Why? Taking part in the treatments that has a slim chance to hasten me along to my end. So why risk it? I don't understand. I honestly don't understand. Why doesn't he want this? Is it because you accepted the end and actually want it? Percy, you lived under the gun for so long, it's all you know. You don't even want to try to get your hopes up. Or no, you actually want to die? You're happy to passively accept your fate? Is that true? I expected him to immediately protest that, pointing out how absurd it sounded. But he doesn't. It's true, isn't it? Some parts of you actually wants this dead end road you're on. Why, Percy? Why aren't you willing to live? He gives up. All defenses effortlessly dismantle, and he confesses.
I don't deserve it.
Oh.
It's not right. It's not fair that I get to live when she had to die.
All because of bad timing. All because we were just a little too late for the doctors to develop a new treatment. A roll of the dice. Luck of the draw. Moopy isn't actually random, you know. It was Stella who realized that first. Her genius was unmatched. I'm still using her techniques when I chase my high scores. You can trick the game into providing exactly the maze you want. If you make the right moves, it's a puzzle. A problem to be solved. There's no fickle fate to it all, at all.
But life? Life is fickle, is it not? My sister dies. I get to live. All because of a little toss of the dice. I simply don't deserve to live. Not if she had to die. If I undergo the clinical trial, if I emerge right as rain, well, it soils her memory.
Wow.
That's why I didn't tell you. Shouldn't have told Mum either. Nobody had to know. Could have been my little secret. If only.
No. No, I can't just let this go. I love him too much to let him slip away over this without even trying. So you're just giving up? I didn't think you were a quitter. And what about your world record? Okay, tough love time. This isn't like you. You struggle to nail that movie record, put in time and effort, and yet you're not willing to put in the time and effort to survive long enough to beat the game? You're no quitter. You're insulted by the injustice of fate, okay? You got every right to be outraged at life right now, but don't let that stop you. Your death won't balance some cosmic scale, and you've got more to do in the time you have. Except I was considering halting my movie quest, if you recall. We talked about it the night when we were at Flotsam Beach. Yeah, and you said you planned to continue. It was a moment of doubt, nothing more. Yes, well, perhaps that doubt is resolved to abandon my quest. Have you considered that? Look, can we just pretend you never heard this? You got an arcade to open. This needs to be a happy occasion. Please? Percy, please hear me out, okay? Do that for me. I just want you to know that.
Hiya.
It's time. Oh my god. You couldn't have picked a worse time for this. Neither of us say anything to each other. Ashley continues on, oblivious to the sour mood.
Ooh.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything romantic. But look at that crowd out there. It's so big. It's 10 on the dot and time to open the doors, but I figured you want to do it, right, Shell? Something wrong? Percy? Shell? I completely lost track of time. We were only moments away before officially opening, but, well, suppose I'll sample the food before movie begins, I suppose. Percy, another time perhaps. You have an arcade to run, love. Let's not let our customers down. But, jeez, I did interrupt something important, didn't I? I'll just, go over there and do things somewhere else. I can't handle this right now. As much as I want to stop everything and sort through this mess, I got a job to do today. It's not like he's going to die today, presumably. I'll take time to talk him out of this later. I need to at least try to put this turmoil behind me, so I can focus on the first day of Arcade Spirits with a smile. Despite reeling from that incident just now, despite my nerves, I'm ready to do this, because I have to be ready. No choice. I've got big plans for the opening ceremony. I'm going to open the doors, give my prepared speech to the gathered masses, and stay on hand to greet gamers as they enter. Stepping in the forefront, I grasp the door handles and throw the gates to Arcade Spirits wide. Behold, gamers, I give you Arcade Spirits. Behold, I give you. I don't even have time to finish one line of my big dramatic speech. The crowd spills through the doors and runs right past me, eager to get to the games. Immediately, the arcade fills with the sounds of beeps and boops, games starting up, and people laughing with delight as they find their favorites. Well, there goes my entire opening ceremony plans out the window. I had all sorts of stuff planned, but if folks just want to get to gaming, who am I to argue? After a few minutes of final checks around the place, I decided to move into phase 2. Meet and greets around the arcade. I walked the arcade like I did in my floor attendant days, talking with folks and making sure everything's running smoothly. Although I could probably track down Percy, too, assuming he wasn't talked yet, which may not be the case. Arcade Spirits is my domain, open to my exploration. Where should I visit first? Let's talk to Gavin and Percy. Seeing as we decided to open the new arcade and restaurant in time for the lunch rush, it's difficult to spot Gavin and Percy in the crowd. But I managed to find them having sandwiches and chatting. Tanked. Completely tanked.
Much obliged.
I'm glad for your little tip. I was ready to invest a good chunk of my pocketbook in that company. All my hard work would have tanked right alongside it. This is par for the course. When my siblings snatch up technology companies, it's a pump and dump, in essence. They stir up excitement in the acquisition, then drop it once it gets cold. I've never seen one of their endeavors bear fruit for very long. Thanks to their short attention spans. I'm glad I could save you the heartache.
Apologies.
No offense. I think I can handle a few accidental heart-related puns without going into cardiac arrest, my good fellow. But it's good to avoid a pothole in the road with finance, yes. All the better for charities who will eventually profit from my own loss. Hey, Percy? With an extended hum in his greeting, I suspect he's simply wanted me not to talk about his health issues or potential resolution thereof in front of Gavin. I was hoping to catch him alone, but there'll be time later, I assume, unless he's hiding from the issue by hanging out around other people all day. So, stock market talk?
Ah, indeed.
Indeed. I like to get all my trades in the morning before I come to the arcade, get all that bother over with so I can focus on Moopy. Afraid we're just being astoundingly boring in the market moment, Shell. Just two overly stern gentlemen talking about finance. That's fine. I'm adulting at 100% efficiency today, having started a new business myself. I should probably learn about how money works. Oh? What would you like to know about? Investments. How do I plan for Arcade's future? I like to invest in our future. Think long term, surviving for many years to come, rather than jumping at the easiest profit I can. Any tips? A fine view to take. My own investments are preferably long term. Yes, I make moment-to-moment trades, but they're backed by the stability of stock bedrock. Even after I'm gone, I expect many of those to cash out gradually, and I hired a phalanx of lawyers to carry out my wishes over the next, 30 years. Except if you just listen to his doctor, he could handle that himself. Gavin, how about I show you my portfolio, give you some ideas on how to build a nest egg for Arcade Spirits.
Thank you.
I'd be honored. I'll let you two handle the fine details. The two sink deeper and deeper into conversation about currency exchanges, fiscal policy, tax rate changes, and I start to lose consciousness. I admire their passion, but there's only so much adulting I can handle in one day, and I need to reserve some for later. It's then I noticed raised voices at a nearby table. It's not really an altercation or incident yet, but they are talking a bit louder than the others. Wait, isn't that guy that was working at Deco's palace? And isn't that girl that I spoke to at that same place? Miss, I've run your credit card twice, and it was declined twice.
Man, this sucks.
Running again, I'm telling you. It was just working fine earlier. I got tokens using it. See these tokens? Sensing opportunity to provide excellent customer service and further improve my adulting chops, I step in to help. Hello, good morning. I'm the manager here. Can I be of some assistance? She looks awfully familiar. Have we met before? Oh, right. I invited her to check out my arcade, didn't I? Guess that's why she's here.
What's up?
Hey, good to see you. Love what you've done with this place. Just love it. But something's wrong with your credit card readers. My card's legit. I was using it earlier with no issues, but now it's all messed up and stuff. Can you help me? I can pay cash if I gotta. I'm not trying to duck and run on you, but I'd really prefer to use the card. Sure, we'll try to run your card one more time. Kinda strange how her card isn't working. Not sure I want to really go too far with this. Better to trust the machines designed to verify transactions instead. I'll stick to the standard policy on this one. Let's try the card again. I'm sure it was a momentary outage. Okay. She fidgets a bit, checking her smartwatch briefly, before passing the card over to be tested again. With a shrug, our employee passes it through the portable card reader, and this time, it beeps to indicate success.
Aw, yeah.
See? No problem at all. Hey, thanks for your help. Big thanks. I'm really looking forward to playing these games. I can't believe how much sweet retro stuff you have. Happy to help. I guess it really was just a momentary outage. With that matter settled, it's back to wandering the arcade. Where to next? Let's go to Naomi, where she's fixing Teo's dance game, which seems to have crashed. Most of the time, I'm drawn to the Showtime stage because of the flashing lights and the hit beats, not because it's completely silent, no music at all. As I approach, I see Naomi feverishly working to fix it. Seeing the whole thing without tunes synced into its flashy lightning rig is going kind of depressing, and listening to Naomi mutter as she works, she undoubtedly feels the same way.
Oh.
This was working fine earlier. Why isn't it working now? Fortunately, Teo is surprisingly knowledgeable about the inner workings of his favorite game. You may need to re-image the hard drive. I know some gray area websites where we can get a replacement copy of the files if needed. This is the third release of the Showtime Stage's software, right? Those are easier to come by than the more modern fourth version, oddly enough. The files aren't the problem. I think the hard drive itself was damaged in shipping. And if so, well, you might not be able to dance at all today. I have to order a new part. I'm sorry. There are just so many games to get up and running, and I must have missed this ticking time bomb of a hardware failure.
No problem.
Hey, it's cool. I don't need to get my groove on all the time. Showtime Stage is one of our flagship games. It's flashy, it's exciting, and Teo's dance moves bring the crowd in. Getting it working for opening day is a priority. Teo, do you know any sources for Showtime Stage hard drives? If you know where you can get physical files discreetly, what about the physical drive? Teo, do you know where we could, pull for one? As a Showtime Stage community manager, of course, I cannot advocate third-party mods in official Showtime Stage hardware. But I could probably hook you up with friends in town who develop their own homebrew replacement hardware. I bet I could wrangle up something that'll keep us rolling for a few days while Naomi orders a true replacement part from corporate HQ in Japan.
Yeah.
That work. I bet I could just doctor it to look official too, just in case. I'll make some calls. You can count on me. We'll have this running in an hour or two. So it'll take a little bit of time, but we'll get our stage back in working order. Good. Maybe we'll get through opening day without any major problems aside from this. Before I go, I spot a gamer who's been watching, super curious about what's going on. Hey, is Showtime Stage really hosed? For now, yes, but we'll have it fixed up as soon as we can. Aw, man, I wanted to get my groove on. That's a bummer. I might know a guy who can get you a replacement super cheap. Or like any game you want. Anything. As long as you know. Don't ask too many questions. Thanks for your generous offer, but we're fine. No reason to be mean or to lampshade what's likely meant as an open invitation to do some crimes. I'm happy to see your enthusiasm for arcade spirits, but I think we can handle this. Sorry you can't play your favorite game right now, but it'll be fixed soon. The gamer shrugs it off, not too offended. School, just figure I like to offer. I dig this place. It's got a little bit of everything I like. I'll just come back later to wow all the ladies with my hot style. Later. That was odd. But as he fades back into the crowd, I decide to move on. Where should I visit next? Queen Bee and Ashley are talking with some arcade newbie. Near the center of the arcade, Ashley's showing off her new cosplay to Queen Bee. She looks like a Sailor Moon-esque character. Wow, just wow. She's been keeping a total surprise from all of us, working in secret on it. Impressive stuff. It seems to have attracted the attention of a brand new customer at least. I think I remember him from Deco's Palace when I was getting some fries.
Oh, hey.
Look, kid, a real life in the wild newbie.
Hiya.
Welcome to Arcade Spirits. We're so happy to have you joining us for opening day. Thank you. Child, yes, young one, you young one. Tell Shell here what you told us. That I've, never used a joystick before in my life. I mean, I've mostly been to Deco's Palace or played games on my phone. Touch screens and stuff, that's all. I've never really been much of a gamer, but all my friends are here today, so I was figuring I might try one out.
Whoa.
Never. Not even once playing a joystick. Can you believe it? Yes, we've all been there. No point in faulting them for it now. Aw, but that's just too cute. To be young and innocent again. And don't worry at all. Arcade Spirits is the right place to learn. We are friendly, inviting sort of arcade. No mad skills required. Here, it's all about having fun. Oh yes, and you know what's super fun? Learning how to play Fist of Discomfort. Trust me. Want to go a few rounds? I'll even spot you some tokens. Seeing Queen Bee's con, Ashley quickly tries to offer something else.
Nah.
Or you can join me for a round or two of TMNT. Yes, fuck yeah, let's go. Nothing like a friendly, cooperative brawler game to ease you into things.
Nope. No way.
Best way to learn is to jump headfirst in the deep end. I say, no regrets, just mashing buttons and moving that joystick. And when you're starting with the hottest title, you've got a built-in community to learn from, right at your fingertips. But turtles were ninjas. Looks like I might need to jump in and persuade this kid to choose a game. They look like a deer trapped in headlights, stuck in the crossfire. You want hot action? Queen Bee's right. Let me see. I'm gonna have to go with the top option. No guts, no glory. Physical discomfort is the heart of any arcade scene. There's no better teacher than Queen Bee and the Four Horse Heavenly Kings. On cue, Queen Bee strikes a pose.
Yeah.
You will become my very young apprentice. I shall name you Darth Newbie. Hey, go easy on the kids, yeah? They're not father. Yeah. I promise not to whip them too badly. Come on, let's show you the ropes. Ropes? There are ropes involved? Oh, jeez. That poor newbie. Oh my, this is gonna be brutal. But also super fun to watch. Like Gallagher smashing watermelons. I'm going to go watch the slaughter and then wander the floor, doing the good old meet and greet. Tending the floor, just like the old days. It's good for the manager to be out and about on opening day, right? That's the spirits. See you out there. Time for me to move on. Before I can continue my wanderings, Gavin pops up directly in my path. Stop whatever you're doing and look towards the door without making a specific Stop whatever you're doing and look towards the doors without making it look like you're looking for anyone specific. What? Okay. What am I pretending not to be looking for? Miss Jean DeFame. Miss John DeFame. I have no idea who that is. The top arcade critic in the city. Her reviews can make or break an arcade, easily. I didn't think she'd be coming today, as normally some little independent arcade is beneath her interest, but apparently she's made an exception. If we don't want to end up smeared across every website she writes for, I suggest you go play nice and show her all the positives of arcade spirits. Okay? I'm on it. Best foot forward. She's the redhead near the entrance, with a handbag. Best of luck. I easily spot her thanks to Gavin's cues. Considering this morning lacked the usual chops I experienced on my first day at the Funplex, I'd say we're off to a great start, and I'm sure this reviewer will appreciate that. Wearing my most professional smile, I stroll over to the entrance. You! I remember you! Oh no. Oh no. My dear, wonderful Josh had a miserable time in your arcade at that birthday party. You and your lanky friend implied my Josh was too stupid to know how coin slot works. Well, this arcade was fun while it lasted. Might as well burn it all down to ashes and build a new arcade on those ashes 100 years from now after this blows over. Before I can try to live on myself, she holds a hand to stop me. Now, while I seriously question the wisdom of allowing you to run an arcade, and would love nothing more than to give you 0 stars and walk away immediately, I am unfortunately committed by ethical standards to stay and properly review your establishment in a relatively unbiased fashion. So as unpleasant as this may be for both of us, I suggest we remain professional, even if you dug yourself a rather deep hole to climb out of, in my view. Understood? Even if I wanted to go on a tirade or chew her out, I got to think of the arcade. This isn't some Rango angry parent, not this time. It feels like chewing around ground glass, but I need to swallow my pride on this. Understood. Excellent. What I need from you now is to stay out of my way. No special treatment or consideration. I need to observe your arcade as a disinterested outside party so that I can judge your facility and atmosphere. Rest assured, if I see some egregious mistake, I will bring it to your attention. Pointedly. My readers likewise will become very aware of your shortcomings. I do my best to support consumer activism, and that requires absolute honesty of any difficulties I observe. So until such time as I require you, I suggest we speak no further. Agreed? Sure, fine. As you were then. Wonderful. Just wonderful. Not only does she hate us right off the bat, but I can't even leap to the defense of what we built here without antagonizing her further. I may need to talk with Gavin about how to save arcade spirits from an inevitable negative review. Nothing else I can do now but pray the arcade gods that everything from here on out goes perfectly. Once again, I wandered the floor, but this time, while all smiles and pleasantries on the outside, I'm left alone battling my thoughts. This is certainly not helping my anxiety, mind you. Being under a magnifying glass means anything that can go wrong will go wrong in spectacular fashion. Reported on across every arcade enthusiast website in existence. No, wait. Stop. Bad thinking. Don't assume things will go wrong. Besides, the morning wasn't too eventful. Who's to say the afternoon will be a disaster? And then the afternoon was a disaster. I knew I had spoken too soon the second I saw Gavin approaching me, with a tinge of worry furrowing his brow.
Utterly ridiculous.
It shouldn't be possible for us to be out of nachos in the vending machines this fast, and yet here we are. I have receipts for ordering exactly enough to fill them up, and yet there were only a few bags in there. A missed delivery, perhaps? And that was the least of our problems. Shell, we got an electrical problem. 3 of the retro games have shorted out. I don't understand. I tested the power supplies, outright rebuilt a few of them. Unless someone's seriously scuffling their sneakers and shocking the coin boxes, we're talking a failure somewhere in our electrical wiring. Calamity after catastrophe. They just keep piling up.
What?
All the toilets stopped working. All of them. We need to call a plumber fast, and not the one that jumps on turtles. Anxiety rising. What are we gonna do? This doesn't make any sense. I'm freaking out, I'll admit.
Well.
I'm freaking out. Maybe we should close down for the day, iron out the wrinkles, try again tomorrow? We are hastily losing our grip on things, and if I don't say anything, we may as well call it quits. I must refocus our energy. Command the troops. No way. We are not giving in just because of a few bugs in the system. We are the Funplex expatriates, the proud crew of arcade spirits. Did we give up when Deco came knocking? Hell no. and we aren't giving up now. I want to hear some solutions. Talk to me, Ashley. The group exchanged nervous glances, then thankfully stops to breathe and think.
Ooh.
I will become the plumber we need. I mean, not exactly, but I'll grab a plunger and do what I can. We'll have to close down the bathrooms for now, but I'm sure we can convince one of our neighbors to loan us theirs, maybe? I'll check next door with them before I go do battle with our demonically possessed toilets. And while I say this vending machine issue is human error, I have enough faith in my own error checking to say this human is not responsible. I'll make some calls with our distributors and see where the chain broke down. Also see about ordering some quick replacement stock. Mine's a bit more complex. I need to replace the fried power supplies, but I can do that. I can do most of those today. Meanwhile, put a feeler out to the indie arcade community online. See if we can get an electrician with arcade experience out here quickly. I've been meaning to get back into online groups, and even if it means popping my head in a crowd, I'll do it. Okay, good solutions, people. Good solutions. I won't be able to work the floor while I'm taming our restroom shell. Are you good with covering for me? Things seem to be getting more intense as the day picks up. You three focus on your task at hand. I may be the boss, but I was a floor attendant originally. I can handle whatever Arcade Spirits throws at me. Got it? Gotcha. But I'm changing out of this first. I don't want to get poo water all over the new mascot. Toodles. I'm on it. You can count on me. With all three busy, that leaves me in charge of every problem that may emerge for the rest of the afternoon. No way to tap out with someone to help me with these situations. I need to work fast. Hit every problem before it's too late. Can't leave any stones unturned this time. No risk of letting something spiral out of control. But I'm ready. I mean, I have to be. No choice. Feeling freshly invigorated, I start my floor trek. There are problems all around me, but what should I tackle first? Cursing and banging as someone beats up a machine. As I hear the clang and bang of someone assaulting a cabinet, I see Percy holding up a finger to grab my attention. I motion for him to join me and he does. Thank goodness. I tried to grab Ashley, but she was in a hurry, brandishing a plunger like it was some sword. There's so much going on right now. What's happening? Some hooligan's working his way down the retro games, and yelling at them and smacking around the joysticks like they're speed bags. I swear he was going to knock over Joust, and that's how hard he was shoving that cabinet. People have been avoiding going near him ever since he started raging out. It's causing quite a scene. I'll take care of it, Percy. Thanks. Be careful, love. I don't like the looks of this one. He places a hand on my shoulder in solidarity before leaving. This happens more often than you'd think. Someone getting so mad at a game that they start smacking the cabinet around. Unlike pinball, which will go into tilt mode to punish you, the only justice to be found here is my justice. I am the arcade law. I am the law! You stupid fucking piece of shit game. I totally jump over that fucking barrel. Fucking stupid monkey shit and his fucking barrels. Playing Donkey Kong. Even if, well, I'm a little less than eager to bring the law down than this guy. I am in awe of the size of this lad. He probably eats 6 whole hams for breakfast and bench presses pick up trucks for fun. But I know my duty. I know what I must do. You break it, you bought it. For the record, you smashed that thing to bits. You have to buy the bits, and the first one's not free. Nor do we have a break another for free policy. The mask snarls, turning his eye towards me and away from the game. You got a fucking problem? And she's right there too. Oh good, just what I needed right now. From the corner of my eye, I spot Miss Defame watching. Better lay down the law. I run this place, see? And I don't like people breaking my games. So you play nice, you play by the rules, or you can go play with yourself, understood? No more hitting games, period. You little... But oddly, his attention is diverted to something or someone behind me. It's only for a couple of seconds, but his whole demeanor changes after that. Fine. He storms off, deciding he'd rather have the last word than argue it further. I turn to see who or what exactly changed his mind with a sharp glance, but the crowd's too thick. Whatever it was, it's gone now. And Mr. Fame returns to the crowd, without a comment, hopefully quietly approving of my law bringing. That was odd, but I guess a win's a win. Now then, what problem to address next? A crowd gathering around the new poster's Juniper design. A small crowd is gathered near the back of the arcade for some reason. Especially odd because there's no games here. just some great wall art and posters that Juniper came up with. It's also especially odd that the crowd is ignoring Queen Bee over said posters.
Come on!
Charming. Real fucking charming.
Oh, hey.
Hey kid, you see this yet? See what? Juniper's marketing must be on point to get that amount of attention. If only it was that. Kid, here, let me show you. Queen Bee pushes past the crowd, glaring at them as she goes.
What the
Grow up. Don't you have better things to do? Sheesh, some people. And I see why the locals were swarming and snickering. Juniper made a bunch of posters and decorations based on Ashley's pixel art designed for the arcade. All part of our branding and marketing experiment. Except when you draw a big old ding-dong in permanent magic marker and use that heart as the base, well, it gets rather naughty. A fact which is not lost amidst the fame, who turns up her nose at the improvised wall art. Great, just great. So yeah, someone's gone and defiled a bunch of our posters. Fortunately for you, I got a good look at them just as they were walking away from this one. Big guy wearing a pair of blue shutter shades. I'm more into virtual fisting than real world fisting, but I got your back if you need to roll up on this guy. He looks like bad news. Thanks, but I can't have you acting as official arcade security. We don't have official security jackets for starters. Plus, I'm the manager. It's my duty to take this on. Yeah, good luck with that. My advice? Call the cops if you have to. This whole situation smells funny to me. Hey, you, no photos. Queen Bee yanks down the poster adorned with pornographic graffiti before it can go viral. She leaves the confrontation to me, while she does her part to clean things up. People think that they're fucking funny. It's childish behavior, at the end of the day. It doesn't take long to track the guy down. For starters, there's his rather unique fashion sense. I spy him in the middle of another graffiti stick. Caught red-handed. Kinda hard to give him the benefit of the doubt, or even a second chance. He clearly broke the rules of the arcade. Although he looks like the sort who could break me if I break the news to him badly. I should choose my words wisely, ones that involve me staying in one piece. Don't do that, please. It's against the rules. Maybe we can avoid a scene if I politely ask him to just stop. It's worth a try at least. Hope springs eternal. Sir, please stop. Immediately he straightens up, pocketing the item he was committing arcade crimes with, all nonchalant-like. What? I wasn't doing nothing. Yes, you were. I know. In fact, exactly what were you doing? I'm the manager here, and I'll get to ask you to kindly knock it off. I don't want to have to eject you from my arcade. Understood? At first he growls a little, ready to protest his innocence, before holding himself back. Lucky I'm under orders, Nerdo. Fine. Whatever you want. And he walks off into the crowd without another word. I'm left in a state of utter confusion over our exchange, but I'll take it hesitantly. Iris? Yeah, I'll keep an eye on him through the security video feeds. Don't worry, I'll let you know if he resorts to his nefarious ways. All handled and without causing an incident, although I'm vague on what he meant by orders exactly. With that in the bag, I quickly look around to see if there are any other nearby problems I can address. The video wall keeps showing pictures of bunnies. The retro television-based video wall was an idea I came up with during the renovations. Naomi was the whole thing off a cheap mini computer, too. Practical and inexpensive, and it gives it just the perfect amount of flair. And I've been pretty proud of it up until this moment. For some reason, it's showing a nature documentary about cute and fluffy bunnies, instead of retro music videos and arcade high scores. Not that bunnies are a bad thing necessarily. There are so many worse things that could be playing, but it's still not playing what I wanted to play. Something's amiss. As I'm hunting around for the remote control we keep at the prize desk, Teo approaches. Bunnies, huh? Yep, bunnies. Interesting choice, Shell. Not my choice, Teo. I'll have it fixed in a moment. Okay, cool. I was wondering if we suddenly experienced a paradigm shift in arcade theming or something. The bunnies are really cute, though. Grabbing the remote, I flick it back to channel 3, which should take the video feed from the Naomi system. And it flips back to the bunnies on channel 5 for a few seconds later. Persistent, aren't they? Almost like the rabbits themselves. So I click back to channel 3. And nope, once again it reverts back to 5. Okay, clearly we're dealing with a master hacker, one who can modify Naomi's system despite having no physical access to it. An individual capable of truly hacking the planet. Yeah. Or it's a prankster with universal TV remote. I got one of those myself. Helps me to turn off overly loud TV bars which drown out the beats of whatever game I'm playing. Not that I would ever do that, mind you, just in case. But with great power comes great responsibility. And clearly, whoever's forcing us to watch this lacks the latter. How about I go subtly check the crowd to see if anybody's got a clear line of sight and is pointing a gadget at the video wall each time you change it. I'm strapped for help, so I'm not going to deny Teo's offer. Sure, go for it. The war for remote control continues for another minute, back and forth from music videos to documentaries about rabbits, and now showing them mating, which I'm seriously hoping does not count as a pornography or be yet another black mark against us with a certain arcade critic. It's only been a few minutes, but it feels like an eternity of copulating lagomorphs before Teo returns. I have a feeling that she was in on this. Found them. Orange jacket, standing near the pinball section. Thanks, Teo.
No problem.
No worries. Anything for you, Shell. I roll up the sleeves on my hoodie, ready to put an end to this. Wait a minute. Isn't that the arcade newbie from earlier? They didn't seem like a troublemaker at the time. What's going on here? Nope, it's definitely this kid. I can see the tiny plastic gadget in their hand, briefly, before they pocket it. Perhaps noticing my approach, a teenager rolls stealth and gets a natural one, resulting in an awkward and obvious attempt at looking like an unimportant part of the crowd. Hey, didn't do anything. I mean, hi, good to see you again. What's up? How are things? Given this living bundle of nervousness, I'm not sure I feel like coming down on someone Brooks' poor kid. The rules are rules, right? Excuse me, would you kind of stop doing that? I'm sorry, but I know you're the one changing the TV channel. I'm not. I mean, you are, but it's okay. It's not really a big deal. If you kindly stop doing it from now on, we can let this go. It's not like you did anything seriously wrong, okay? Just stop changing the channel. Okay, sorry. I was trying to cause trouble. I mean, I was, but never mind. Okay, I'll stop. Thank you. Bye. And they're gone, slipping back into the crowd. That was weird. What's going on here? I decided to look around a bit more, hoping for some clues. What trouble should I investigate next? Before I can continue my quest to purge my arcade of evildoers, I'm interrupted by an onslaught by hard-working staff. I knew it, Shell. I knew it. Shell, am I missing inventory? When I get my hands on whoever did this, I found the electrical problem, Shell. Sabotage and treason. An enemy agent walks among us. Okay, so we have some slight insight as to what causing all these messes, but it's chaotic jumble right now. One at a time, please. Our specifically low snack inventory was indeed not human error. Delivery truck never arrived here. It was routed to a garbage dump due to computer error, or as I suspect, maleficence. And maleficence explains our electrical problems too. Remember my joke about someone scuffing their feet and shocking the coin boxes? No, that's actually what happened. An external shock, not grid failure. Someone's got a battery or some other shock prod and was using it to crash games. Must be the same someone who flushed a bunch of wadded up paper towels and firecrackers down the toilets. It's a war zone in there. I was able to dredge up one super gross chunk of it, but we'll need a professional plumber to get the rest. This is all sounding way too suspicious to be random acts of hooliganism, and it all ties to what I've been handling on the floor. I had to deal with pranksters all afternoon too. I've been so busy playing firefighter, running from blaze to blaze with leaky bucket, that I haven't been able to put the pieces together. But now it's clear, and I know I must do. Have y'all pardon me? It's time for MX Shock to go kick some ass. Right, that tears it. No more MX Nice Shock. The gloves are off. But you aren't wearing any gloves. Do you want to borrow mine so you can take them off? Ashley, focus. So you have an idea of who's responsible? Yeah, leave this to me and I'll come to kick ass and chew bubblegum. And I'm all out of bubblegum. Oh, here, have some of mine. Ashley hands me a stick of gum. That's a Duke Nukem line, but it originated from the movie They Live, which was a Roddy Piper movie. With a shrug, I pop it in my mouth, turn on my heel, and march off to resume ass-kicking anyway. And with a nod of solidarity, all of us split up, each on our own mission to thwart the ne'er-do-wells. I'm not practically thrilled to begin this confrontation. My nerves haven't stopped jangling since this morning, but, well, my friends are counting on me to lead, to be the responsible one. I can't force this off onto Gavin like I might have done at the Funplex. Finding my quarry isn't particularly difficult. She's been in the background this whole time, watching and waiting as I ran around trying to put a lid on mayhem. Her eyes study me as I approach, grinning ear to ear.
Hiya. Hi. Hello there. Figured it out, huh?
Yeah, I can't say I understand why, but at least I know the who. The matching fashion style was a pretty big clue.
I guess a formal introduction's in order. Yeah, okay. The name's Sue. Natural-born leader, hacker extraordinaire, and leader of the Ghost Monsters, the hottest gang on these streets. Pleased to meet ya.
She playfully curtsies, her wicked smile never ceasing.
And yeah, I guess my friends were a little wild and crazy, leaning a bit heavy on the pranks. But clearly, you were cool with that, since you didn't kick any of us out. I respect that. I really do. Shows you know it's all in good fun. Let me make it up to you, okay?
Sue steps back and taps the button on her smartwatch. And from the crowd of gamers, her whole gang assembles. Gang, this is... What was your name again? Alex Shock. Gang, this is Shell. Shell, this is Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde. Pac-Man Ghosts. I should have fucking guessed it. Now then, she turns to face her ghost monsters. And her name is Sue. Yeah. Oh my god. Inky, Binky, Inky, Binky, Pinky, Clyde, and Sue. Sue is the one from Miss Pac-Man. You were all very, very naughty, and I say they're owed an apology. A big fat I'm sorry from each of you. Don't you agree? Each of them mumbles a semi-coherent, semi-sincere apology. Yeah, whatever. Sorry. Real sorry. Gosh, I'm so sorry, MX Shock. Really sorry. Wow. When they finish, Sue faces me once again.
There. Everybody's sorry, which means everybody's forgiven. Correct? Because, and this is me being real with you, I like this arcade. I really do. It beats the crap out of Deco's Palace, that's for sure. I can easily see this being our new home, you know? I admire what you've done with the place. It's totally awesome, and I'm really looking forward to coming back. Again and again. I definitely don't want to end our first day here on a sour note. No. I'm so glad we can communicate like adults. Apologize for being naughty and move on. Now, okay, we may still ruffle a few feathers while we're here, but that's cool, right? I'm sure you understand that it's all fun and games. Nothing personal. So, what do you say, friend? All's forgiven?
I pause, taking everything in Sue's ramble on about. Let me get this straight. You scare our customers, mess with our television sets, smash up and short circuit our games, clog our toilets, redirect our mail orders, expect a second chance to cause trouble after I already let your first wave of chaos slide, draw our dongs on all of our posters, and you want me to smile and let you come back tomorrow? My words barely faze her, that grin's still lingering.
See? You get it?
Yep, yeah, that sounds about right. I love this arcade. I think we could be great friends. What do you say, partner? Wait for my response. She holds out to her fist bump. To bump. Wow. Seriously? Seriously? No. 1,000 fucking times no. Mere words cannot accurately describe this red mist of a rage that's descended upon me. You ruined opening day. You broke everything, and I've had it. Get out. If you punks don't clear out of here pronto, I'm calling the police. And Sue just laughs. She laughs and laughs as if I posted a funny cat video, not made a direct threat.
Oh, friend, you don't want to get the pigs involved. No. I mean, if you really feel you need to, go ahead. Call them. It's cool. We'll go quietly. And be back the very next day. We've got friends in high places. We don't sell drugs or weapons. We sell information. And information, as a currency, is far more valuable than what other gangs trade in.
Motherfucker.
So just smile, nod your head, and say, "Yes, Miss Sue, you and your friends are always welcome here." You don't want to see what I can do with the push of a single button.
So now you're threatening me.
I'm just telling you how it is. What you do now is entirely up to you.
But before she continued her tirade, we rather rudely interrupted. Oh, Sue, the hell you think you're doing here? The thick tension that surrounded us melts away. Redirected to the new challenger, all eyes glare towards them. Oh, great. Okay, Shell, hold that thought. I got business to attend to. Damn right you do. Ghost monsters don't operate south of 23rd Street. You damn well know this is lovely chainsaw territory. Get lost or get tossed. If I wasn't confused before, I sure as heck now. All I can do is watch this unfurl before me. With a clap, Sue summons her buddies to the side. I'm sorry, south of what? I don't recall signing any non-compete agreement with you darlings.
Ghost monsters for life!
Oh, ghost monsters? This locker room gossip queen is disrespecting your fearless leader. What did we say to that? Nobody, this is Sue on my watch. Yeah, and I ain't scared to hit a chick. I'm an equal opportunity social maladjusted individual. Fuck you. Fuck you, okay? Fuck you. Fuck you. Think you got your answer, ladies? Now then. Let's rumble. Oh god, we got a fucking gang fight right now? Well, to their credit, they didn't throw the first punch, but we're taking Han didn't shoot first levels of moral high ground there. Immediately, the ghost monsters and lovely chainsaw at each other's throats, grappling, punching, and shoving at each other. Baseball bat gets swung and clangs off the side of a racing game. Soda cans are thrown. Someone uproots a chair near the stack machines, and that goes flying too. It's chaos, complete utter chaos, and it needs to stop now. Iris, already calling the cops, Shell. As for me, it's funny. We started the day anxious about what the future may bring. Once the future goes completely to poop, well, the anxiety just fades away. There's something oddly freeing about seeing your world crumble around you. There's nothing left to fear, and that means I can swing to action, ready to face it. Priority 1, get the customers the hell out of here. Gavin and Ashley are already on that. I joined in, trying to funnel the panicked crowd of kids and gamers out the door and away from the carnage. This way, hurry! In an orderly fashion, please. Out, everybody out! The fight spills into the restaurant area. Fortunately, well after anybody eating there had bailed on the place. This just adds greasy french fries to the mix of crap being thrown into the air at the opposing sides of this gang war. Damn it! I'm not letting that shit get away with I'm not letting that bitch get away with this. Until now, it's been the world's sloppiest barroom brawl. Teenagers flailing at each other wildly, generally wrecking the scene rather than each other. Wow. But now she's pulled out a gun. Not some arcade-like gun, but a real-life shooting and killing gun. This isn't happening. This cannot be happening. But this is 100% happening. The leader of the lovely chainsaw gang raises her weapon and takes aim at Sue, trying to end this. But her target is conveniently tuckered behind Mrs. the Famed Queen Bee. If I don't do something, someone is going to get seriously hurt. My mind races. Calm acceptance washes over me. This is how things will be. No helping it. One chance to do something good in the midst of all this chaos. Time slows for me, like I'm trapped in a dream state. Pure instinct takes over and I start running toward them. Get down. This has got so fucking deep. Holy fuck. Oh, shit. Holy shit, what did you... I was aiming for Sue. Pigs, pigs. Run for it. Stay cool and wipe the footage first. Do it. Stay with us, Shell. Stay with us. Help is on the way. I just wanted to make a dream for everybody to enjoy. That's all. Was that so wrong? Is that what you would have done? It's what you did do for all of us. But I guess no good deed goes unpunished, huh? The Shock family curse.
You've a strong spirit, dear. You'll get through this, I know you will. But for now, oh, you'd best wake up. There's still more to be done.
Slowly, very slowly, I open my eyes. The soft beeping of medical monitoring greets me, as well as an angel in white. Well, angel in a white lab coat. While they're no heavenly being, they do appear to be my doctor, armed with nothing more than a clipboard. I'm still a little hazy as they really explain the situation. Thanks to my wild theatrics, I startled the shooter enough that her bullet missed its intended target, and instead it went to my leg, which hurts like shit, but apparently resulted in a surprisingly clean shot that I'll recover from in a few weeks, easily. 2 days in the hospital, a week or two on crutches, some limping, then I'll be back to 100%. More importantly, nobody died. I can live with this momentary pain if someone else gets to live, period. So, could have been better, could have been worse. The doctor, having given me the report, leaves to treat the other patients. Before they do, they inform me I have a visitor. At least there's a plus side. I just wonder who it is. It's gonna be Percy, isn't it? Yep. Percy walks in, his head held high. He's trying to hold it in, trying not to cry. I confounded it all. What the bloody hell were you thinking, jumping in front of a gun like that? How could you throw your life away like that? How could you? You noble fool. A noble fool I love so dearly. A noble fool who I thought for one terrible moment that I lost forever. Percy,
Please, hear me out. I've made a decision. I am no stranger to grief. You know this. I've felt loss. I've felt pain. I'd like to think that if you were to leave my arms, I could shoulder the burden and carry on. I've had to do it before. When I lost my dear little sister, it was a considerable burden to bear. But I fear losing you would have broken me. Completely.
give me 1 second.
I love you with all of my heart. Even the part of my heart that seeks my destruction. I can't help myself. I don't want to love this much. It would be easier, wouldn't it? A simple, light-hearted love, one which could let go when the time comes to let go. Understanding that it will be fleeting. Accepting that. But that's not the truth, is it? I love you deeply. And I cannot deny that. Today was proof. If you were gone, a piece of me would have gone with you. I couldn't bear it. So, I've decided. I'm going to accept my doctor's treatment.
Wow.
Because making you shoulder the pain of losing me is selfish. It's unfair to make you have to feel even a tiny bit of the way I felt today.
So it seems I'm going to have to live out the role. No way around it. Assuming you can forgive me for my outbursts of other foolishness, that is. I'm glad to hear it, Percy, and your sister would be glad to hear it as well. I'm glad you're choosing life, Percy, and I had no doubt that your sister would want you to choose life as well. There's no need to die in her honor. You have a high score to achieve in her honor instead, right? And then, a brilliant and long life to enjoy, also in her honor. So if you decided you wanted to try the treatments, I'll be behind you every step of the way. And beyond. I love you. And I want to be with you for a very, very long time. Shall I...
As would I.
Yes. This is what I want. I want to be with you for as long as I can.
Well.
Now, a treatment isn't a cure. I wasn't lying about that. There's still a chance it won't work, but it's a chance I'm ready to take. And however many years I have, be they short or long, I'll happily spend them by your side. And in front of Mr. Moopy.
Right.
Yes, well, that goes without saying. He sighs, letting all this weight off his chest. The little poke at his game-playing habits help lighten his mood. But not entirely. I was being something of a brat, mind. So focused on punishing myself that I couldn't see how I was hurting others. You can forgive me, but I was quite cross with Mum and Dad. Unfairly so, considering they already lost a daughter. I'll call them tonight. start to patch things up. I promise. And how about once I finish the first round of treatments, we head on up to jolly old England. Meet the folks. You and I. Suppose I need a passport then. An international trip? I'd never left this coast, much less this country. Sounds good here, but we'll need to make arrangements. A passport, convert some money into pounds, pack plenty of clean underwear, things like that. Ha, I'll leave all that to you. I tend to just toss a few things in a bag and go. I travel light.
Well, it's been a funny sort of day, hasn't it?
We still have a lot of work to do to clear things up at the arcade, pave the way to this bright future we apparently have now have together. But I know we can do it. I'll see you bright and early, or whenever Doctor lets you leave, I suppose. Thanks, Percy. Love ya. And I you. Seeing the person I care for the most was certainly a boon to my spirit. Now, if they could only do something about the food here. When my heart calmed, my body finally tells me it's exhausted. I snuggle into the covers as a yawn escapes me. Just as I'm about to roll over and drift off to sleep, another visitor drops in. It's either Gavin, Naomi, Ashley, or Juniper. It's likely well past visiting hours, but with no small amount of both dread and relief, I'm glad to see her. It's probably Juniper. Oh, no, it's her. McShock, a word, if you will. I tried to straighten myself up from my pillow backrest. Time to put on my professional front, even if I'm in excruciating pain. Okay, I should start by explaining that what happened today isn't exactly indicative of. I should hope it was. It's hard to disguise the disbelief on my face. What? It seems I misjudged your character, based on an initial unpleasant interaction. But what I saw today, clearly, you are no fool, nor a coward. I let my need to protect my family override my better judgment. How absurd to paint everything you built at Arcade Spirits with that brush, all over such a small matter. I saw you selflessly throw yourself in front of that bullet. You didn't have to do that. You chose to do that. It's indicative of someone who isn't simply in this for the money, as so many in this industry are. You protected your friends and co-workers. That's an admirable act of heroism, and one I'll not soon forget. I suppose I've become a bit jaded from all those eager to cash in on the arcade scene. All the large-scale arcades I have to review tend to be very impersonal and cold. So, you were impressed with arcade? Well, let's not go that far. I can't say I was thrilled with the amount of mayhem and disaster going on even before gang war broke out. But I will also say I've only ever seen that amount of mayhem and disaster once before. It's highly unusual, to say the least. The last time I reviewed a small up-and-coming arcade similar to yours, everything went wrong. Everything. I wrote my review in Oz fashion. As a result, my scathing pen, the place was sold and closed down within a month. Sold to a notable figure in this industry. Wait, you don't mean... Yes. Dekonami. Such is the fate of any arcade which dares to stand up to him. Your prior business, the Funplex, only escaped being devoured by being far too small to be worthwhile. Sadly, your enthusiasm may have put it in his crosshairs, and if you cannot tidy up your reputation after today's affairs, Arcade Spirits will be next. Again and again and again, torn down by Dekonami. This time, he didn't even have to lift a finger. By pure coincidence, the ghost monsters wrecked everything before he could exact any revenge. All he has to do is swoop in and buy out what's left of our dreams. However, I have come to a decision. Given I was first-hand witness to your troubles, which were clearly not your fault, and given your willingness to put even your own life on the line for your arcade, I'm going to tell my editor I need more time, that I want to return in 1 week to get a more accurate and mature overview of your operation. 1 week. That's the best I could offer you. This is a difficult hole to climb out of, MX Shock. Even aside from early trouble, having a gang fight and a shooting transpire at an arcade. Well, the press will feed on this, even if I was the only press present and accounted for. They'll dig and they'll speculate and they'll chew on your bones. If your arcade survives that initial onslaught, I hope to write a proper review which can lay those concerns to rest. But I'll offer you no more second chances, no more reasonable doubts. Best foot forward when I return, or my readers will know the truth. Understood? Understood. Then I'll leave you to your recuperation. With a curt nod, she turns and leaves the room, leaving me with my thoughts. 1 week. I got exactly 1 week to completely rebuild our reputation and clear the good name of Arcade Spirits. Otherwise, it's game over. For all of us. And we cleared level 7. I'm proving to be gentle, sweet, and compassionate soul. Also, I scored 22,550 points. Woo! Now, let's have one last piece of fact. 62% of Americans prefer meat toppings on their pizza, while 30% prefer vegetarian. Everybody loves different kinds of pizza, and that's a beautiful thing. Before we save, well, let's save. Let's go. Let's do it. Time for the next episode. Kill screen. It is the distant future year 20XX and oh, who am I kidding? I'll be lucky to make it to 20XX plus 1 at this rate. I've had my strand of fate twisted back and forth so often it feels like it could snap at any moment. Mired in depression and supposed family curse, then lifted up by my amazing time at the Funplex. Slammed back down by Dekonami, raised up again by the Arcade Spirits Project, and now descending further due to a series of bad coincidences, culminating in a Pier 6 brawl in which I got shot. But today I'm back to Arcade Spirits and ready to work despite being on crutches. Normally I have to mentally filter out the beeps and boops of the busy arcade, but not today. Aside from our regulars, nobody's here. Not exactly the sight I wanted to see on my grand return, after heroically taking a bullet to the leg. We're 3 days into this ambitious experiment and it's already looking like a bust. Even with a reprieve from Mrs. The Fame, we couldn't hush the event up completely. The news of gang violence at a local arcade spread over social media like wildfire. Gavin had filled me in on all the details I missed while I was passed out. By the time the cops got here, both gangs were long gone and the ghost monsters wiped our security footage on the way out the door. No arrests made, no evidence remaining. The only plus side, Sue and her ghost monsters apparently never came back, but even without them actively causing problems, that single day managed to smash her reputation. It's just so disappointing. I believe Arcade Spirits could be a welcoming home for gamers, but if they won't even set foot in the door, they'll never see it for themselves. I put in all this work, all this love to make my dream arcade. All my friends did the same, and to see it all evaporate in a single day is so incredibly disappointing. I don't honestly know how we can recover from this. If we could only get the good word out, somehow correct this PR disaster. Seated behind the ticket desk with my crutches propped up nearby, light duty only for a week minimum, doctor's orders, I tried to mentally detangle this mess. The Iris, are we? Yes, we're still trending negatively on social media, like the last 7 times you asked. Any luck with our security camera footage then? Anything that we can give to the police? It might help our public image to have someone point blame at. Nope, it's totally wiped and my fall recovery systems failed. I guess that's to be expected when going up against cyber criminals. Like they even avoided bad press from the shooting. I haven't spotted the words ghost monsters in any of the articles I found out about the attack. It's like they're ghosts. Well, not literally ghosts. I just mean they clean their tracks very efficiently. Yeah, got that. We did see them in their corporal form, remember? At least that whole mess seems to be behind us. Now we just need to dig our way out of this hole. I sigh heavily as the burden sinks into my lungs, and before I can go further, I hear footsteps approaching me. I lock my phone in the pocket before seeing who it is.
Greetings, friends.
It is I, Hamza, here to discuss matters of great import with my good friend and worthy ally, Shellshock. Hi, Hamza. I sense a distinct lack of energy in your greeting, likely due to your sorrowful taste after being shot. State after being shot. Hopping along on crutches isn't fun, but no, that's not the problem. Regardless, you must always face the day with fire and purpose, Shellshock.
Such is the iron will of Hamza.
Only with an absolute will of iron, strong and resilient against that which assails you, you can achieve absolute victory in the world of arcade games. Pardon my lack of, fire. Just pondering how to deal with this reputation situation.
This displeases Hamza.
Indeed. Those foul miscreants truly soiled our trousers of decency on opening day. Such misbegotten youth must pay for their insolence. What is your cunning plan for completely and utterly destroying them? I was thinking more along the lines of a PR campaign to rebuild public trust. Far less exciting, but Hamza will assist in any way possible. You hold within your tremendous power of persuasion. Hamza has witnessed this firsthand. Your people's skills are unmatched.
Perfection.
Believe in me who believes in you and strike forth into this world to reestablish our business as one of sublime arcade majesty. Right. So, like advertising or something? Hamza suspects you will require a grander statement than some mere billboard. The violent incident made a splash. You, my friend, must make a tsunami, one which will wash away the blood and leave us clean. If only such opportunity would simply walk through those doors and lay its bounty before us, could this be a simple matter. Hold that thought. We got a customer. Oh, hello, welcome to... Good morning. Get out of the fucking life. Get out of my life, Dekonami. Get out of my life.
Dekonami.
Good day, mister. Hold on, I'm trying to come up with your name. Hanson? Harrison? Something starting with an H? Please excuse Hamza, Shellshock. I must return to my kitchen to be forcefully restrained by my chefs, lest I commit a crime against humanity. What an eccentric fellow. I stood there in silence and shock. I tried telling myself this was just a bad fever dream from my wound, but no such luck. This was 100% real. I watch as Deco takes a look around the arcade, his smug grin ever present. I see his eyebrow arch as he takes note of the people, rather the lack of people here playing games.
Such a shame.
Seems you had an unfortunate run of the luck lately, MX Shock. Not an unexpected one, however. I did warn that this will likely be the result of trying to go your own way. This can be a very unforgiving industry, as you've learned. Well, I didn't expect you to get shot at least. I'm glad to hear the wound was minor and you'll recover. I apologize for not sending flowers.
Am I not generous?
I hope you realize that I was only looking out for your interest when I made my job offer, MX Shock. You're a promising young talent, and it's a shame to see it go to waste on this doomed venture. Nope. I can't handle this. Not today. What do you want, Mr. Nami? If you need tokens, the change machine's over there.
A pity, is it not?
Tokens? How quaint. Still no swipe cards, eh? Sadly, I'm not here to play any of your antiques. Rather resembles a 1980X junkyard here, doesn't it? All these obsolete games that no one truly cares about. No.
I'm here to make one final offer. If you sign over ownership of this arcade to me, I'll spare your careers. Yes, even Miss Fairchild and Miss Wolf. I'm sure I can find something for them to do at one of my facilities. I want to support your rising star. That's what I've always wanted. We've had our differences along the way, but I want us to overcome them and thrive.
Bullshit.
But this is your last opportunity. I'll not extend my hand in friendship again. If you don't agree to my terms, I'll stand idle and watch as everything burns down around you. You have my word on that.
Okay. Obviously, I want to say no to this fabulous offer. But at one point there would come my losses. Miss Francine believed in dreams, but she also believed in practicality and trade-offs. Am I ready to give up everything so I have something resembling a future? No, I'm never giving up my dreams. Of course I'm not giving up. I mean, seriously, I have so many opportunities to jump ship prior to this. Why should I bail this close to the end? No, now get the fuck out of my arcade. No, 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 and 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 no. So that's the only reason you're here? Well, you're not a paying customer, are you? Would you kindly get the fuck out of my office before I call the police? I see. So you remain a foolish child at heart.
So be it.
I guess I'll just have to settle for buying the burnout husk of your business once it ultimately collapses around you. I think you underestimate the damage being associated with the criminal element can do, MX Shock. It's enough to ruin even the mightiest of arcades. Oh, and I doubt the ghost monsters have forgotten you. They will return, and they will make matters far worse for you. Are you in on this? And immediately I take notice. Play it cool, don't let on, just test the waters. Really? Ghost monsters? I thought that game was called Lovely Chainsaw or something.
A foolish fool.
Yes, Ghost Monsters. Sadly, they insist on naming themselves after that absurd ancient video game reference. For all the childish, immature. He shakes it off quickly enough, refocusing on me. But enough banter. I believe I'll take my leave. I'll not see you again, MX Shock. I'll let my lawyers handle purchasing what little will remain of you. Good day. Once he's out of earshot and well beyond the confines of the arcade, I pull out my phone to verify something. Iris? You checked all the news articles about the shooting, right? Oh, yes, I've analyzed them all. Did you need me to pull up a specific one? Just confirm something for me. The ghost monsters were never mentioned by name in any of them, right? Yes. It seems Sue's friends are good at covering their tracks. Why? This is it. This is the chance we need. Admittedly, it's a slim chance, but at this point, I'll take what I can get. Message everyone. I'm calling another Wake to Events conspiracy.
Hooray!
Ooh, you're all fired up. Okay, message is sent. I'll need everyone's help to fill in gaping holes in my plan, but at least now, I have a plan. It's time for one last-ditch effort to save arcade spirits. Hamza's restaurant in the back of the arcade made for an ideal gathering place. We picked out one of the largest tables, one where we could easily speak to each other. Calm has returned once more, after the very sight of Dekonami caused a red mist of rage to descend upon Hamza.
Revel in the splendor.
Can Hamza interest anyone in only the finest of spicy buffalo wings, or perhaps diet soda? I'm good, thanks. Sure, I'll have some soda, yum. This was it. This was where we make our last stand. I looked around the room, at everyone, at all my friends, and nodded to each of them, determinedly. Okay, I know things are rough, but I got, let's say, a good 60 to 80% of a plan for how we could turn things around. Like, we can all agree what happened wasn't our fault, yes? Someone else screwed us over. Every problem we faced could be tracked back to them. The ghost monsters and Lovely Chainsaw may be to blame, but the court of public opinion puts the blame squarely on our shoulders. Our venue is tainted by their actions. We can cry foul all we like, but if there's even a chance of violence returning to our doorstep, it'll keep customers away. It's a real bummer. We haven't seen any families here since opening day. Parents just aren't willing to take their children somewhere that's known for being dangerous. Actually, I wasn't talking about the gangs. Today, I learned who our true enemy is, and that person is Dekonami.
Dekonami.
The beast that wears human skin. Yes, surely he is to blame. Hamza is admittedly uncertain as to how, but Hamza is also perfectly willing to go along with his idea. Earlier, when he was taunting me, he slipped, mentioning the ghost monsters by name. Except those hackers who keep their noses clean. They left us with no proof that they were even involved, thanks to our security cameras being wiped. The cops didn't go after them. The news didn't identify them. So, how did Deco know about them? Answer: Deco hired the ghost monsters to ruin our opening day.
What?
What? Seriously? In hindsight, it should have been obvious. I blame myself for not seeing it sooner. Far too many coincidences to be otherwise, and the fact that they only started wreaking havoc once Miss the Fame showed up to bear witness. I can see what you're throwing down, Shell. Sue and her friends didn't seem awful at first. I remember talking to Clyde. They were very nice and friendly. But it's a facade. And then Miss the Fame showed, and...
Oh my!
Oh my gosh, wait, you think Mr. Famous involved? Considering she was willing to hold back her review, I don't think she's knowingly involved, but Deco may have gotten when she was showing up and I took advantage.
What if?
But you don't think Deco would stoop that low, right? Hiring some random street gang to mess with us. Would he? Oh, he would. He's a spiteful bastard. Of course he tried to ruin our opening day. The only reason he didn't destroy Miss Francine was out of some weird sort of gentlemanly respect for a fellow elder business owner. But to Deco not me, Shell is basically pond scum. Thanks? To be fair, I doubt he orchestrated the bullet-riddled finale of the evening. That pushes plausibility. True. He wouldn't have even needed a shooting to ruin us. The negative reveal alone would have done the job. Being even slightly associated with a gang would have been awful. If Mr. Fame reported us as a hotbed of teenage chaos, a living reenactment of Lord of the Flies, it smelled doom even without the bullets flying around. I guess we're lucky she held her review back. The problem is, we have no proof of this, do we?
Bummer.
No way to tie Deco back to the Ghost Monsters other than slipping him up and mentioning them to Shell. I doubt he'll ever admit to this on the record. Iris hasn't been able to dig up any digital evidence, although there's our eyewitness testimony, which should be enough to warrant some investigation. But for some reason, it doesn't seem to be enough for the police. I know a few of the local cops and how they think. If they're not looking into the Ghost Monsters, odds are they're actually looking into the Ghost Monsters quietly, which admittedly doesn't help us in clearing our name. And it's too much to hope that Deco simply confesses to orchestrating the incident which ruined us.
Come on!
That slimy bastard's not getting away with this. I'll beat the truth out of him if I have to. As amusing as that would be, I wouldn't suggest it, love. We need to be smart about this and undermine him rather than take the direct approach. You mentioned having most of a plan, Shell. Care to elaborate? Well, if Deco won't confess his sins, we need the next best thing. We need his henchmen to flip on him. See? I sensed some tension from Deco about the Ghost Monsters. He called them childish and immature. There may be some bad blood between them. How about we break up their partnership? My plan is to track down the Ghost Monsters, get them to turn on their employee and confess to their crimes. Once the media hears it from Sue herself that the incident was all thanks to Deco's scheming, it'll clear the good name of Arcade Spirits. This plan is foolproof. I'm answering with a myriad of blank stares and blanks. Don't everybody congratulate me all at once now. Okay, so this isn't really me criticizing, but your plan kind of sucks.
I don't know.
You want us to track down a bunch of hackers we already can't find and then ask them politely to betray the guy who's paying them a lot of money? Between this and the shooting, I'm worried about your health insurance premiums are about to go through the roof, Shell. That's why I said it was maybe a 60% of a good plan. Look, we don't have a lot of options, people. Right now, the only ones who could save us are the ones who ruined us, Deco and Sue. I'm confident that if I can find Sue and talk to her, I can get her to see reason. Didn't you ban them from the arcade and tell Sue you never wanted to see her again? Okay, so we didn't start off on the right foot, but I'm willing to put money on myself for turning that around.
Doubtful.
I have my doubts, I'm afraid. This hinges on our ability to find Sue. Find an unfindable bunch of ghosts, ones Iris can't even track down, and that's where you all come in. All options on the table. I want to hear your ideas for how we can find Deco's hired goons. Let's fill in the other 40% of my plan and make this happen. And awkward glances back and forth are all I get in return. I get why they're concerned. This is the slimmest of hopes, the narrowest of margins. I'm asking them to follow me on a hunch. But I know this can be done. I know I can get Sue to give us the dirt we need to clear our name. Heck, some days it feels like all I do is talk my way through problems. That's my one special skill. I'm going to rely on it for this final conflict. Now, if you could just find her, for that I need their help. And that means I need to motivate them like a true leader would. Come on. Don't we just want to let Deco beat us? What? Are we just going to lay down and die then? Decide it's too much to save trouble to save Arcade Spirits? Deco tried to buy this arcade not half an hour ago. I sent him packing because I believe in what we made, because I believe we can win. We fought so hard to get to where we are today. I'm going to keep on fighting and fighting until I've got nothing left in me. Are you willing to do the same? You have my sword, and my bow, and my ass. Wait, no, axe. Damn, I always get that one wrong. Everyone nods in agreement, and I can even see some smiles start to appear. We're all on board. Now to just determine the how of the plan. Decision. Finding the ghost monsters.
Perhaps.
At the risk of stating the obvious, why don't we talk to the police about this? They've proven unhelpful so far, but if we go down the station and fully explain our situation, we may be able to gain the information we need. I feel this would be a reasonably steady course of action.
No can do.
I'm not certain about showing up and just asking for them to open their files to us, but you're correct. The police will have the information we need. Except cybercrime is a sticky situation. You have to control leaks. If they're looking into ghost monsters, they won't just tell us outright. The key is talking to the right people. I know most of the cops at Ben and Matt's Donut Shop by name, and I know one friendly officer that will help us.
Nope. No way.
Why get the cops involved? We already know someone who's got an axe to grind against Sue and her buddies, or rather a chainsaw. That's right, Queen Bee. We can ask the lovely Chainsaw Gang. They'll be easier to find and would probably be thrilled to divulge all the dirt they have on the ghost monsters. Or they'll carve us up with switchblades. Could go either way. I'll admit, this is a super gutsy move, but if we pull it off, we don't need to involve authorities at all. This whole situation is a bit too stickly for my liking. Cops and robbers? No thank you. Although, the alternative I'm about to suggest may be stickier still. Shell first met the ghost monsters at Deco's palace, yes? The regulars there, so we investigate Deco's palace to find someone who knows Sue and her mates. If we can find a good friend of hers and make them understand why we need to speak with Sue, well, it go ways to mending fences with the ghost monsters if we approach on a friendly and diplomatic terms, yes? I'm pretty sure if I showed my face at Deco's palace, it'd get mashed into paste by his private security goons. But my face wouldn't. Deco doesn't know me. I was Funplex adjacent rather than a Funplex regular. And I think the last time I set foot in Deco's palace was years ago, so I could wander freely with Juniper. Yeah, we could slip in and ask around about Sue without anybody even noticing. I say this kindly strategy is an honest appeal to those who may know her. What could be more cordial?
Definitely.
If she's got a single friend in that place, I'll find them. It's a daring mission in enemy territory, but for you, Shell, I'll do it. What are you looking at me for? I don't have any ideas. I mean, well, you can try Googling for her accounts. I'm reasonably sure Iris had already tried that. Iris? Yep, I even used Yahoo, Bing, AltaVista, and Webcrawler. I have no idea what half of those are. Okay, but that's not really what I meant. I meant checking online forums for arcade enthusiasts. She loves arcades, right? She may have an account there. I've been rejoining online communities lately to try opening up to like-minded folks and socializing a bit more on my own terms. She's gotta be lurking in one of those places. Oh wait, I know! If we can passively search for her, we can actively call her out. As much as I hate internet trolls, they do get results. If we taunt the ghost monsters online, well, I'm positive Sue's sort of the person who looks herself up constantly, right?
A winner is you.
Of course. And with my help, we can establish fake accounts to spread the message so far and wide that she can't miss it. I suggest we use a public internet access point to keep it from being traced back to Arcade Spirits, though. Ooh, road trip. Road trip. I can tell from Gavin wincing at this he's not a fan, but he's not a fan of Iris in general, so...
Good work.
I like this plan, Miss Naomi. It's pretty quirky, but it just might work. Well, I did say I wanted options. Involving the cops after all the semi-shady things we've done is risky, so provoking a rival gang of armed hooligans. So is infiltrating Deco's palace. So is... Okay, posting a few troll messages isn't that risky given how many social media companies actually endure trolls and nurture them for advertising dollars, but it could annoy Sue. What's the best path forward? Before I can decide, Juniper raises her hand. All those sound great, but Shell, you're still recovering from an injury. The less moving around you do, the more likely you'll heal nice and quick. You can't go gallivanting around the city chasing down rumors about the ghost monsters today. I'm just on crutches. I'm not on an iron lung or anything. I'm still mobile. Light duty only. Doctor's orders, remember? But I have a solution to this conundrum. It's simple, super effective. Let us do this for you. You've had to tackle all these problems since joining the Funplex by yourself. Why not step back and let us handle this one? Well, okay, but I need to be there when we finally confront Sue. While you're out and about, I guess I'll get some rest, so I'm ready for tonight. Sounds good? Sounds good. These are my friends. I trust them entirely. So now, the only option is, which plan do I want to give my shell seal of approval? Considering it's not really our job to take down violent criminals, I'm inclined to let the police handle the legwork on this one. Hey, Julie Jelly up the raid, thank you. Ooh, covering the Forgotten Land. Hope you have fun with it. But at the same time, we need them to loop us in on the investigation, or we'll never find Sue. Theo, you sure can find someone who'd be willing to share their findings with us? But yeah, thank you for the raid. I really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed Kirby in the Forgotten Land. Right now, I'm playing some Arcade Spirits, and I'm getting closer and closer to what could be the end.
Absolutely.
Okay. You two see what you can dig up while I get ready for the final showdown. I'll make some calls. Gavin, meet me out in front with the van. Affirmative. We won't let you down, Shell. It's fun so far, but it's hard getting used to 3D platformers sometimes. Yep. Alright. I'm a firm believer in law and order. However, I'll also note that the Cooper family has the benefit of wealth and social status to insulate us considerably from any difficulties with the police. Up to and including the law looking the other way as my brothers and sisters routinely skirt legal issues in their corporate antics. On the platonic deal of law and order, absolutely a firm believer. So I was quite relieved when Shell chose the sensible option of simply inquiring with the authorities. Who did I end up with as my partner? Percy.
Hello.
Hey, Earth to Gavin. Come on, Gavin. Pardon? I was lost in thoughts. I sipped the coffee provided to us by one of Ben and Matt's cafe hosts to refocus my thoughts. We've been waiting a full hour at this point, which caused me no end of frustration. There's no need to worry, my friend. Am I worried? I can read all over from your face, that slight furrow in your brow, the frown. I've been around you long enough to know when things aren't going your way. Trust me, we got this in the bag. I know the perfect woman for us to talk to. Bright young officer, smart as a wimp, keen sense of justice. Plus, she's dating someone in my dance group. It amazes me sometimes how Teo finds time to maintain all these social connections and relationships. I find it bothersome to keep up the feud that I have. I'm not concerned about the quality of your asset. I'm concerned with the delay. But yeah, Percy is who I ended up with.
Sheesh.
Asset? Come on, Gavin. These are people. People like you and me. You need to loosen up a little. Hey, let's decide which one of us is playing good cop and which one of us is playing bad cop. Neither one of us are cops, Teo. Yeah, but think about it. Two private dicks meeting in a shady coffee joint with a police informant. The whole story is shady. Since when? Work with me here. I'm trying to make this more exciting.
Seriously?
I'll settle it for being more productive. Shell's counting on us. And Naomi's counting us too, right? Pardon? Come on, I know you two have been spending more time together lately. We work together. That's unavoidable. That's not what I mean, and you know it. You two were at each other's throats all the time during the Funplex days, but now that everything's pulling together to make Arcade Spirits happen, well, don't think I haven't been noticing the extra hours you put in. This is irrelevant to the situation at hand. Let's stay focused, shall we? Sure. Natural pause settles into our conversation as Tail's attention drifts into someone or something else. Hey!
Hello there.
Haven't seen you in the last two meetups. Not doing anything I wouldn't do, are you? Or anything I would do? Nah, I've just been super busy, but I'll beat your score on Stop the Beat any day now. Just wait and see. Oh, hey, Gavin, how's Tricks?
Pardon?
Tricks are fine. Do I know you? Dude, I was at the Funplex almost every day of every week, and I've been coming to Arcade Spirits since it opened. Apologies. I tend to avoid getting to know the customers. Too many conflicts of interest, you understand? Let's see. You're, something started with a D. D. So I'm in the right neighborhood? No, just D. That's my name. D. D's one of my star pupils. Does all her own costuming, choreographs, her freestyle sections, runs a channel with the dance instruction videos. Good for D then. As for the police? Yeah, I brought her along. Hey, Gigi. You two are Dee's friends? Detective Ji Woo Cho, pleased to meet you. I'm gonna go get a slice of that cheesecake and let you three chat. Don't be long, Gigi. I got a big day planned. The young dancer weaves between tables to go purchase something tasty from the whole story bakery, leaving her girlfriend to settle in for a conversation. So, Dee tells me you had a run-in with everyone's favorite street hackers? The so-called ghost monsters, yes. Right. I'm not sure how much help I can be. They're part of several open investigations regarding credit card theft, fraud, and other cybercrimes. Given how adept they are at information technology, we're trying to play this one carefully and quietly. Honestly, I don't think I should even be talking about them. They could be the key to saving Arcade Spirits, the heart of Dee's dance crew.
Bummer.
Are you sure you can't offer us anything? I hate to make you come out here for nothing, but I've got no comment at this time. Which will not suffice, needless to say. I need to open her up and get her talking. Immediately I consider an appeal to reason, but how would Shell handle this? I wonder, and how much information should I share in turn? We might be able to aid you in your investigation. I'm going to take this off real quick. We think they're involved with Dekonami. That's what I'm going to go with. I don't see any sense in prolonging this. I can be direct and diplomatic at the same time. Consider us a resource you can draw on in your investigation. Are you familiar with the gang shooting at Arcade Spirits a few days ago? Yeah. I talked with the officer who was on the scene. He told him the ghost monsters were involved, but we couldn't find any trace of them. They're elusive to be certain, but I know what I saw, and I'm willing to testify to that effect.
Perhaps.
More importantly, we strongly believe they were hired by Dekonami to cause trouble for our arcade. And the detective just sits there listening. I was hoping for more of a dramatic reaction to that reveal, honestly. You know Dekonami, yes? Owner of Deko's Palace? The current king of the arcade scene? Okay. Let me give you some free advice. Without confirming or denying the involvement of Mr. Nami in my investigation, this is not a situation you want to be involved with. There's a reason the ghost monsters keep dodging charges brought up against them, and it's not just their usual slippery elusiveness. Money is power, and they have money in their corner, coincidentally. I understand Dekonami is spectacularly wealthy, which is why we need your help. We believe we can convince the ghost monsters to turn on their patron, that we can take down Dekonami and clear the good name of Arcade Spirits in the process. All we need to know is where the gang currently is. She clearly thinks I've lost my mind, but I can also tell she's giving the idea some merit, thinking it over. Obviously, I can't encourage or even suggest a civilian confront a dangerous gang head-on, even if it could, supposedly, aid in my investigation. Nor can I risk the case I've been building up by directly participating in such confrontation. Tell me, do you honestly believe you can find dirt on Dekonami? I would happily trade some hacker guppies for the big fish. Shell believes it can be done. And I believe in Shell. Okay, this is a terrible, terrible idea, but if it's not too deep of a state secret where the ghost monsters are right now. Ever since the little incident at Arcade Spirits, they've been holed up in their little Island of Lost Boys hideout. The detective scribbles down Sue's name and address on the whole story napkin, sliding it over to me. I still strongly suggest against going there, but I owe Teo for introducing me to Dee, and that means I owe Arcade Spirits and I owe you. Just, please try to avoid doing anything that will add body bags to my evidence pile, okay? Understood. Hey, you done yet? We got a date to go on. Pardon me, boys. I need to kidnap the good detective for a full day of romantic antics that will leave her legs quivering like jelly. Toodles! I briefly see the detective mouse the words "help me" my way, before grinning and departing with her colorful girlfriend. Once they exit, Tail turns to me, smiling like a Cheshire cat.
All right.
See? Did I come through? Or what? More than you realize. Huh? I very carefully fold up the napkin with Sue's name and location before pocketing it. Maybe Detective Cho gives us our new trump card by accident, writing down Sue's real name on instinct. Maybe it was intentional. Either way, I intend not to splurge this gift. We have what we need. Let's get back to Arcade Spirits. I dedicated my life to protecting the dreams of others. It's a goal I've often failed at, due to failing to understand the dreamer, much less the dream. Tonight, we must not fail at all costs. I've done my part. Now it's up to Shell to pull off a miracle. But if anyone's capable of miracles, it's them. I know this to be true. We will have our day in the sun. I awaken to the sounds of pain. More specifically, the groans of pain escaping from my own throat. Apparently getting shot in the leg hurts. Hurts a lot. And sleeping on the second-hand employee couch probably not the finest choice for rest. The nap was definitely a necessity. However, I am not operating at full speed anymore, and won't for a few weeks, but sleep didn't make my muscles any less achy. If anything, I got a headache on top of it. Joy of joys. But right now, I got a 99 problems to my physical condition ain't one. The fate of arcade spirits is what matters most.
Beep beep.
Beep beep, Shell, you should probably be getting up now. I'm up. Goody. So have you getting any thought of how you're going to win over Sue's favor once you go confront her? Well, usually I just sort of stumble through these things and decide stuff like that on the fly. Ooh, that's no good. You know those intense identity situations I've been tracking? The ones where you can't take certain approaches that don't mesh with your personality? What, like, where I can't make nice if I'm too impulsive of a person? Well, it's not so much that you can't, more that you shouldn't try something that goes against who you are as a person. People will see right through it. And I'm betting Sue will know if you're acting at something you aren't. This will be a super intense identity situation. Only one way through. When the time comes, you're going to have to take a stand based on your highest personality score. Not more numbers and systems. It's for your own good, Shell. I'm just trying to help you make decisions that will save arcade spirits, and that means being true to your spirit. And what does that mean exactly? According to my calculations right now, your best bet for how to convince Sue is to be kindly. You've done a great job opening your heart to others and getting them to empathize with you. Do that with Sue, and she'll be your friend in no time. And if I don't want to take that approach, it's a bit late to change who you are as a person, Shell. Remember, my numbers and scores only help me understand who you are. Who you are is who you've chosen to be. It's a casual relationship. But with the help of your friends, you can maybe get some ideas, nudge some things around a bit until you feel confident in taking a different tactic than the usual one. Speaking of your friends, here's one now.
Hello.
Wakey, love. I'm pleased to report a successful sortie against the enemy. Could you use less more metaphors? They're scary. Gavin and Teo successfully negotiated for information with the police. I have no doubts as to their success, of course. I'm afraid there's an additional wrinkle, however. True, we have their location, but we also have Sue's real name. I'm guessing it's not Sue. Oh, it's certainly Sue. Sue Nami. One, that's a pun. And two, she's related to Dekonami. Sue Nami? We've been assuming all along that ghost monsters were guns for hire, paid off by Dekonami to ruin our opening day. But if Sue is actually Deko's daughter, would she even betray her own father? This could be bad. This could be very bad. A mercenary hacker could be convinced to betray her boss, but a youthful daughter would be less likely to do so. Deko didn't seem particularly enamored of the ghost monsters, though. Even if it means breaking up the family, maybe I can use that to drive a wedge between them. Either way, this just got a whole lot more complicated. Okay, this changes everything. A sticky situation just got stickier, eh? The foul fellow is her father.
Rather unfortunate.
Truthfully, I'm not sure how this changes our plans. I know I'd sooner eat glass than backstab my mom and pop personally. Still, we do what we must, yes? You and I will deal with this new wrinkle when the time comes. I'm coming with you, of course. You'll need someone with a car to haul you out there, yes? Pretty sure the bus doesn't have a stop marked gang territory, no? But you already put your life on the line for this arcade once. Somewhat literally. I'll not let you do so again. If this turns violent, I'm getting you out of there. Understand? You mean too much to me to allow a repeat episode of opening day. And that goes for you, too. Don't risk your life. I'd rather neither of us risk our lives. And if it comes to that, I agree. We run for it. It'll mean potentially abandoning arcade spirits to its fate, but indeed, we must keep our heads about us in this matter.
Well,
It pains me to say this, but it's just an arcade, Shell. You mean more to me than this place, or movie, or damn near anything, honestly. I want us to have a long, happy lives together, no matter the misfortune. We'll have that, I promise you. Let's try to avoid any misfortune. If we play the situation right, we can come out on top. Iris told me I only get one chance to do this, that I need to go with whatever I do best. But if I talk this through with someone, maybe I can learn a different path. Percy, how do you think we should approach Sue? Carefully, gently, and with kindness. Given we're aiming to split her from her father's side, we need to be very diplomatic and understanding of her feelings. It's the only way forward, I feel. Agreed, we should consider her feelings. It's going to be difficult to be sure. But if we can connect to her on an emotional level, maybe we can sway her to our side. Agreed, it's the best way forward, really. Now then, sort out any final business and we'll head on over to face this together. I'll just get the car ready, take your time. Well, this is it. Either we sort this mess out or Arcade Spirits crashes and burns. Or I get killed. I guess that's always an option, considering we're about to go confront a street gang that indirectly got me shot in the first place. I don't even want to consider the possibility of death. I'm immortal until proven otherwise, but well, give me 1 second real quick. If this is the end, I should probably have some words with my friends before I march towards Doom, if only to get their opinion on how I should approach Sue. Grabbing my crutches, I swing my way out to the arcade proper to track down some folks. Alright. Let's see, I've already talked to Percy. Who else do I want to talk to before we leave? Naomi. Naomi will be in her workshop, no doubt. I should check in with her, see how she feels about all this. Oh, looks like she's happily tinkering with some old 1980X arcade board circuit. Hey, Naomi. Hey, Shell, good to see you. I remember when I first met her, she jumped in surprise if I approached her like this. Seems those days are over. Now I'm greeted with a warm smile. Listen, I'm heading out to talk to Sue soon, so I just want to talk a bit before I go.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll do great. And all the time I've known you, you've been terrific with people. Better than I've ever been, at least. If anybody could sway her to our side, it's you. I mean, look at all this. She gestures, arms wide, to her surroundings. What, your workshop? No! I mean Arcade Spirits itself. Look at everything you built, and how you do it? By talking to people, helping them understand your dream. You get what I mean, right? By being who you are, you can make miracles happen. I'm just me, Naomi, an ordinary person with a big heart. Naomi, I'm just me. Little old me. I've got a big heart, and I wear it on my sleeve. It's up to others to decide if they want to do the same. And join me. So far, it's worked out okay. But tonight, I don't know. Maybe I'm not up to this. Tonight, Sue will see your heart and know you're in the right while her father's in the wrong. Don't be so humble that you downplay your own accomplishments, Shell. I know what it's like to cut yourself down a peg, scared of being too proud. It's easy to fall into that trap. So when I say you're a great person, take the compliment. Okay then. So how do you think I should approach Sue? Well, if it was me, I'm not happy with how they ruined our opening day. Honestly, I'm downright miffed about it. I'd probably go at him like a fireball because I'm downright fierce. I understand that. But I know that probably wouldn't work. Taking the high road is the better path. You've got a steep hill to climb here. Making her flip on not only a partner in crime, but on her family, so you're going to have to try and understand her heart. She kept saying she likes our arcade. Play into that. Be kind, understanding, and empathetic. Okay, I'll consider playing nice. Challenging her ego and insinuating her is definitely not going to work. Playing nice makes sense. You're right. I'll consider it. Believe me. I kind of want to kick her teeth in, but I know that's wrong. Even if we're never friends, we have to at least try to understand her. I better get back to work. These replacement ROMs aren't going to socket themselves. Even if the arcade ends up closing down, I'm decided to be optimistic. You can do it, Shell. Best of luck. Oh, hey, mind if I ask your opinion on something? Sure, what's up? What do you think of Gavin? Like, I mean, I know he's a money-grubbing, prize game-loving stick in the mud, but, well, ever since Arcade Spirits and all of us working together, I don't know. Maybe soften up a bit. I think you're a good influence on him. Do you think he'd be the kind of person to put old arguments aside and, like, No, we gotta stay focused. We need to stay in the arcade. Forget I brought it up. After offering a brief hug of support, Naomi returns to her work. Who else do I want to talk to before we leave? Gavin. I find Gavin looming large over the arcade floor behind the ticket desk. Seems he was expecting me. So, our complications have developed complications. Seems to be the case. And you like my advice in the matter? Seems to be the case. Be clear with Sue. Be honest. And be ready to rise to whatever challenges she poses to you.
Perhaps.
If you let her make the first move, you can counter move through improvisation. I know you're talented at it. Use that talent to let her set up her own traps and step in them. Treat her with respect. At the end, she's just a kid. You can outthink a teenager, I like to believe.
Take this matter seriously.
If you take the situation seriously and approach with a clear mind, I've no doubt you'll win the day. Agreed? I can keep a cool head and let her make the first move. Sounds about right. Go in ready to form a strategy based on the conditions on the ground. Then play out that strategy with a calm hand. Precisely the way I handle it. You know, when you first came to the Funplex, I had serious doubts about you. I assumed you'd just fill a seat and do low-level labor, while I focus on higher-order management tasks. So I've largely kept my distance, or tried to, at least, out of professional respect. But I can't help but come to know you over the time we spent together. You're not a minimum wage trainee anymore. You've taken opportunity and run with it, developing not only the Funplex, but a whole new arcade as well. I know we're facing a difficult challenge. I'm not going to blindly assume everything will be just fine either.
Certainly.
But I know that if this is possible, and we can stave off bankruptcy, you will be capable of doing it. Thank you, Gavin. Your respect means a lot to me. Thank you, Gavin. I'm glad I've earned your respect. I worked hard to get us all where we are today, and I don't intend to let any of you down. Of that, I have no doubts. All that remains is for me to wish you the best in your efforts tonight. Do Arcade Spirits proud. Do all of us proud. We're all counting on you, Naomi especially. I swore to protect her dream once, even if I've been inadequate at the task, unable to truly understand her heart. I hope she can forgive me for my earlier mistakes, now that we're all pulling together for Arcade Spirits. I must admit, fondness. Have you told her that? Well, no. But perhaps I should. Not that I meant to distract you, as you were. Who else do I want to talk to before we leave? Let's talk to Ashley. Ashley's wandering around the arcade floor, practically what I can only assume are Magical Girl final attack sequences. Aren't you out of costume for that? Ashley finishes up a twirl before addressing me.
Nah.
You can take the Magical Girl out of the outfit. You can't take the Magical Girl out of your heart. Plus, I'm practicing for the final boss fight. Aren't you ready? What? Shell, you dig role-playing games, right? Doesn't this feel like you're about to enter the final boss fight? Like in every RPG ever? Look, you gather up all your team members. See also, us, your friends. And we're all hunkered down in a dark, damp cave. See also Arcade Spirits. Now we're having this epic sentimental chat about winning and losing. I couldn't be more spot on.
What if?
Although, I do wonder what class you would be, Shell. As long as Sue doesn't metamorphose into a six-winged floating half-torso of a monster as Gregorian chants play in the background, I think I can handle it. Sephiroth. Speaking of which, how are you going to handle it? I have a few options floating around in my mind, but I was checking in with others to see what they recommend. If it was me trying to take down the final boss, I would give in to Sue's spunk and sass. Make it a bizarro final fight by playing into Sue's sense of adventure. Joke around with her. Maybe if we match up her antics with ours, we just might best her at her own silly little game. Yes, fight mischievous cybercriminals with more mischief. No one can outplay me. I'm Shell, arcade manager and all-around cool kid. I got puns and jokes for days. That's what I'm talking about. There's no way to lose with that attitude. But I also know something else, which is to always trust Shell.
Yes!
Whatever you end up doing, I know you're going to save arcade spirits. And consequently, all of us. Isn't that a little too hopeful? There's a very real chance I can fail at this. This isn't some game. This is real life. Of course, I realize that. But I gotta have hope. I believe in you. Even if you don't believe in yourself. Huh. And here's where I get really sappy. Ever since you came to the Funplex on that day, you affected us all. You changed all of our lives. And mine. For the better, of course. I've been watching you grow and change into this person before me, and you've inspired me to do the same. To become the person I want to be. So, Shell, no matter what happens in there, just know that you've made friends here. Friends that'll last a lifetime. These friendships are the very best. Like no one ever was. To cultivate them is my real test. To enjoy them is my call. Really? 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 You know it. Friendships made in arcades are the truest, most purest friendships. And just so you know, you're a tremendously amazing friend. Ashley twiddles her fingers for a second, then deviates from the seriousness. Well, I know you got things to do before the big fights. Just make sure you stocked up on potions and don't forget to have the correct weapons equipped. All I have is this crutch. Did you see his stats on it though? Crutches do double damage to pesky teenagers. Good to know. And Ashley? Yes, Shell? Thanks for being so bright on this dark hour. You got it, friend. Now go out there and kick all the butts. Who else do I want to talk to before we leave? Queen Bee. Obviously, Queen Bee is playing first in this conference, right? I make my way to the FOD cabinet, and I'm in no way surprised to see her playing. Although this time it's without the fancy rig and camera setup. It's just her.
Come on!
I fucking hate playing against the AI. No challenge at all. I can do this with my fucking eyes closed. Hey kid, jump here and be my opponent. I know I'm better than to do that, Queen Bee. You will polarize me inside and out, and I'd be nothing but a human flesh puddle by the end. Sort of like how you're going to take down the Deco family? Huh? Queen Bee... Queen Bee definitely hits a button combination, which officially takes out her AI enemy, removing herself from the cabinet. She pulls out her jacket, straightening it out. I'm imagining you going into Sue's hideout, kicking down the front door, guns a-blazing, yelling at the top of your lungs, and challenging Sue to one final showdown. What do you think? I think you've been talking too much with Ashley. Her imagination is rubbing off on you. Listen, Sue's a gamer and we know she's got a bit of a competitive streak, right? Be confident and throw down your best shit talk. She won't be able to fight against it. She'll easily see we're superior to Daddy Dearest. I'll show Sue my first-rate moxie and take her down. You're right, Queen Bee. Once Sue sees my guts, and hopefully not my literal guts, she won't be able to do anything but side with me. Kid, I believe in you. As one of the 4 heavenly kings, I endorse you. In fact, I wouldn't have furthered my career as a pro gamer if it wasn't for you. When you first showed up at the Funplex, I thought you were going to be easy fodder for me to crush beneath my heels. This is supposed to make me feel better? Hold on a minute, kid. Let me finish. But as I got to know you, you aren't just another fan. You are a true friend. Sometimes when I'm frustrated, I look to you for inspiration. Me? But I'm just Shell.
Not bad.
Yeah. Fucking right. Watching you overcome your fears and fight for arcade spirits, it makes my soul burn. It makes me realize I can overcome anything too. Even my most hardcore battles. So when you go there tonight, don't have any doubt. You're a fucking badass person. An even more badass friend. I am fucking awesome. F yeah. When you put it like that, I'm pretty badass. Probably the most badass friend you got. Isn't that right, Queen Bee? Oh, kid, stop. You're splitting my sides. Seriously, I'm glad to have you as a friend. Okay. I can't handle any more of this mushy friendship talk. It's going to ruin my reputation as the most radical person here, and we can't have that. I don't think anyone believes you're less than radical.
Hey,
Thanks, kid.
thanks.
Now go do your thing. Oh, don't forget to kill him dead tonight. So I'm about to retort, she beats me to it. I meant that literally, not figuratively. Ta! So, there's Teo and Juniper. Let's talk to Teo. There's one place I just know I'm going to find Teo, and when I get there, he's already on stage, grooving to the beats. It's exactly like the first I encountered Teo. Not a care in the world besides the BPMs and flashing lights surrounding him. One moment. Alright, let's see what they say next. Never skip a day, do you? Even when impending doom is nigh? Even when we're about to go head to head with Sue? I think I might have missed a couple of days when I got the flu once. Seriously, just thinking about you facing off against Deco's daughter worried me the heck out. That's why I hopped on Showtime stage, to quell that anxiety. Dancing is a good way to clear the mind and work off any stress. So I watched the sweat from his brow as he hops down from the cabinet to join me on the arcade floor. Tail's carefree nature sheds, and he looks at me dead in the eyes. Shell, you don't realize how you've impacted us all, do you? I know it may not seem like it, but all of us have been impacted by what you've done for us and for our arcades.
Thank you.
We're all super grateful, especially me and my crew. You've helped me grow my community of dancers and kept us from harm, even when we tend to break the fire codes. I feel like you took charge for that. I just provided a place for you all to play Showtime stage. Exactly. Without you, my crew, no, me, I wouldn't have been able to grow without your guidance. You taught me so much. Since I met you, you've shown that it's possible to care for others and take care of your own needs. And for that, I'm truly honored to be your friend. I got that Care Bear stare. I don't normally give myself enough credit, but I do pride myself on caring for others. It's sort of my jam. It feels good to care about people, and I'm going to continue to do so. I'm as caring as those bears that you shoot with love beams. Yes, show the world your heart. Just not your actual heart. People might get grossed out. I smile at Teo. He's always got a way to bring up the mood, and right now I can use that brightness. Your words are comforting. But Teo, with you and everyone else counting on me, maybe I should get on the stage and dance. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't stressed. And you have every right to be. You have to find a way to convince Sue to join our side. I don't envy you right now, Shell. Not one bit. By the way, how are you going to do that? What's the plan? I'm still trying to figure that out exactly. What would you do if you were me? Tail takes a minute to really think it over. Sue's still a teenager, right? Very much so. And what did the teenagers do best? Rebel? Rebel. Precisely. And how did they rebel? By doing what they want when they want. They're all about having fun, appeal to her sense of adventure mischief. You're sure to convince her if you act childish as she will. Yeah, that's the kind of tomfoolery I can endorse. I'm the manager of an arcade. Of course, I'm all about having a good time. If we can show her we're the better party people than her family, she might just join forces with us. Just for the heck of it. That's the spirit. No matter what happens in there, Mateo and his wifey, his Wally crew of dancers have always got your back. You're a part of our community after all, like a bond that never dies. Hey, Kaiju. Thanks for always believing in me.
No problem.
No problem, my friend.
Show me your moves.
Now go out there and show me your moves. Who else do I want to talk to before we leave? Just Juniper's the last one. Juniper's grabbing some dinner at the moment. I've never seen someone angrily eat hot wings before, but somehow she manages it.
Come on.
This whole situation is total poop butts. She lets out a heavy sigh as I approach.
That sucks.
You just dug yourself out of the hole your life had become, and now you're gonna lose another arcade? It sucks. Seriously sucks. Arcade Spirits isn't lost yet. But it's not like you have a total plan for how to save it yet, right? Other than go talk to someone who may or may not help. Honestly, that's about as much of a plan as I ever have. And right now, it's as good of a plan as we're going to get. If we're going in my place, how would you handle this? Well, I guess there's two tricks I try. One, she's a teenager, right? A rebel to the core, be a rebel, dissident, class clown. Connect with her on that level and make her feel you're wild too. Two, she's a teenager, right? I remember being young and totally stupid. Let her make a mistake, then outthink her, keeping calm and using that to react to her moves. I guess they're widely different ideas, but hey, one of them will work, right? I could be a rebel too. I remember being her age too. I did not mean to hit auto.
Definitely.
I remember being her age too. I'm sure I can live up to the hijinks she gets up to and connect to her sense of teenage rebellion. Adulthood is for weenies. You know, I'm proud of you. You come so far from the Shock family curse days when you blame all your misfortunes on fickle fate. Instead, you're diving in and trying to strangle fate with its own strings. And I want you to know, win or lose, I'll still be here.
BFFs for life.
I'm your best friend, arcade or no arcade. And even if you lose this place, you'll always have a home. I'll make you pizza bagels and give you a shoulder to cry on. If I ever see another pizza bagel, I will hurl. Can we never mention the PB word again? I'm having harrowing flashbacks to the days of foul nutrition and low household income. I sooner eat my left arm than another pizza bagel. No problem. Consider it stricken from my dictionary. Besides, I prefer toast or pastries myself. Okay, I'm sufficiently cheered up thanks to your infectious spirit. Now get out there and let him have it, Tiger. I'm ready to leave. No sense in putting off any longer. I talked to everyone that I wanted to. I've gathered as much information as I could. I'm just delaying the inevitable at this point. It's time to do this, for the sake of my future, my dreams, my friends' dreams, and Arcade Spirit itself. I take Percy's hand in mine as a soft smile curls my lips. We're ready to depart and face our destiny together. It's a short trip across town. Before we know it, we're standing outside Ghost Monsters HQ. Rundown warehouse in the bad side of town. Wooden sign, lances falling off the side of the building, identifies it as belonging to Nostalgia Commodities, Inc. Not a particularly welcoming locale, isn't it? I doubt they'll invite us in for tea either. Why would anyone want to live in such a squalid hole? Can you think of a better place for a street gang to lay low? Odds are Deco owns this building anyway. Correct. Nostalgia Commodities, Inc. is a wholly owned subsidiary of Deco's Palace, LLC. Lovely. Well, once more into the breach, eh? I have faith in your success. I largely stay quiet, let you handle the talking, but if I spot a moment where I can aid in our victory, I'll speak up. Shall we play then? I sighed once, looking over at my companion. I'm sure glad I'm not going at this alone. I'm nervous for sure, but I know where I have to do. I settled down on my crutches, armpits resting on the padding as I prepare to enter the belly of the beast.
Hey, listen.
Iris? Kind of about to be in the middle of something here. I know. And I'll spontaneously reprogram myself to include a new measurable metric which should be useful for your mission. I call it the incredibly right indicator of success. Or IRIS for short. Hey, when you have a great acronym ready, you may as well use it. I'm going to start analyzing Sue's vocal patterns once you step in there, to determine how close you are to convincing her. That way, you'll know if you're on the right track, or if you need something to try something different. Let's take a look at your current score. Currently, you have a 0.0 chance of success. Yay? Well, okay. It's probably a bit disheartening, but think of it like, if I walk away right now, I fail miserably, instead of, I'm doomed, doomed, doomed. But speaking of doom, well, since there is a chance you can actually fail this time, rather than be assured you can mumble your way through the problem, would you like me to back up your data first? Save the game. Taking a deep breath, I swing my way into the warehouse on my crutches, with my companion beside me. I don't know what I expected to find on entering the lair of notorious gang cyber criminals, but a makeshift arcade that rivals my own was not high on the list. If this is a dumping ground of a warehouse for Deco's industry, it makes sense, though. A place where old arcade games go to die, turned into a playland for punks. This organized maze of games litters the ground floor, poorly lit and barely functional. Only some of the screens are on, and mainly have serious ghosting and burn-in. As for the ghost monsters themselves, the good news is they haven't even noticed our arrival. As I look up, I can see them on the second floor in the catwalks. And the whole thing looks like a maze. Huh? They seem distracted. That's good news. The bad news? They're distracted because they have a visitor.
unfortunate.
I have to say, Sue, I'm extremely disappointed in you. It's hard to get a good angle from down here, hidden in the shadows, but it sounds like the old man's ranting at his daughter in his usual passive-aggressive way. I could stay hidden and eavesdrop on the conversation, gather some more information. Or I could announce myself and barge in on them. Both are risky. But which one makes the most sense for how I'm going to handle the negotiation we're about to have, though? Eavesdrop and learn more. I motion for Percy to stay quiet, as we lurk in the shadows below the catwalks above. You should be out there doing what you agreed to do, not hiding away in your clubhouse. A clubhouse I pay the rent for, I should add. You want to keep your little playground, yes? Hard for me to do so if some competitor rises to hurt my bottom line.
Pay attention.
Look at me when I'm talking to you, Sue. I'm trying to explain how the world works. Pay attention. Yes, Dad. It's hard to tell from this angle, but I could swear she said that through gritted teeth. There's a certain forced tone to it as well.
Am I not generous?
I don't ask for much. I look the other way when you and your friends cause trouble. I bail you out of jail. I let you skip school as often as you want. All told, I feel I've been a lenient father who understands and appreciates his daughter's inclinations. Like you know the first fucking thing about me. What was that? Speak up, I can't hear you. And don't look to your little friends, look at me. Reluctantly, Sue's eyes meet with her father's. Yes, Dad, I'm sorry, Dad.
You understand, yes?
All I want from you is so very, very little. It's what you'd be doing anyway, really. Go back there and keep causing trouble for Arcade Spirits. Or do you really want me to pull back all my support of your little gang? Leave you twisting in the wind at the mercy of the Cybercrime Task Force?
No helping it.
Of course not, Dad. I'm sorry, Dad. I think I'm starting to understand the situation. She's under his thumb, but not by choice, and she hates it. Good. Now then, why haven't you finished the job?
Oh, come on!
I almost fucking died thanks to invading lovely Chainsaw Turf. If we go back there, I'm hearing excuses, Sue. I thought you were made of stronger stuff than that. Some delinquents are chasing you away? Really? How are you going to eventually inherit my empire if you can't stand up to some school brats? Like I want your damn empire.
Pay attention.
Speak up, I said. Quit looking at the floor. And we lock eyes. Through the metal grate-looking flooring she's standing on. Her hands go to her hips in an overly confident fashion as she bends over, like a child finding a lucky penny on the sidewalk. Well, what do you know? Crap. She spotted us. Inky? Blinky? We have guests. She snaps her fingers. A sudden aura of command about her as she distracted from the verbal beatdown by her father, and goons swarm, flanking us. We quickly hustle up the stairs, well, as quickly as I can manage on crutches. Now's the time to use this moment to my advantage, and I know just what to say. Deco, buddy, long time no see. It's been hours? Deco, buddy, pal, how's tricks? Gosh, it's been so long. It feels like just this morning you were in my arcade threatening me. And now here we are. What a coincidence. Deco's face twists into a grotesque blend of anger and fear. What in the hell? I can't be seen here. If any of my records ends up online. Jeez, Dad. Relax, Clyde. On cue, Clyde steps out from the shadows, their fingers dancing over their phone as they concentrate on the screen. Both of them have phones. One has an iris assistant loaded. We're blocking their outgoing data streams. There should be no verifiable data evidence of this conversation uploaded anywhere. I can't stop Shell's iris from hearing you, but I can hijack their account if you need me to so we can manually wipe her memory. Just say the word. We'll see. Thanks, Clyde. Clyde nods in agreement, backing out of the spotlight. Happy now, Dad? You're clear. Quit freaking out. Oof.
As you like.
Not that it matters. My business with this MX Shock is already concluded. I was more than courteous to you, and you spat in my face. It's clear we will never see eye to eye, and I have nothing more to say to you. Actually, we're not here to talk to you. I came in tonight to have a chat with, wait for it, your daughter. Timing is everything. How did you...
Well, you're a resourceful one. A squeaky clean arcade industry titan can't let anyone know about his hooligan daughter, can he? No. So I've had to keep that under wraps. Good work sleuthing it out. But I can't say I'm impressed that you came here after you told me to off.
Well, I did kick them out of the arcade. That won't be a point of my favor right now.
You know, I tried to play nice with you. I tried to explain how it was nothing personal. The chaos we were causing for you. And you were super rude about it. Totally rude.
It's not like I chose to wreck your arcade. I didn't have a choice, as you probably figured out. Honestly, I liked your arcade. It ruled. But I don't like a no-fun jerk, and you are absolutely no-fun jerk. Absolutely, totally, completely no fun. So why exactly should I give a flying fuck of what you have to say? Precisely. I see your game, MX Shock, as is obvious the sad little strategic moves you've made so far to keep your arcades afloat. Sadly, nothing you say or do will save arcade spirits from my inevitable takeover. This is simply how the industry works. Now, Sue, it's time to finish where you started. Sue shifts her attention from her father back to me. It's hard to read what she's thinking, but I have to think of something to call an attention. I step forward, my fists clenched, ready. But before words escape me, someone is by my side. Honestly, Mr. Nami, we could stand around tossing insults back and forth all night. But that doesn't change one fact. We're not standing in the middle of Deko's palace. This is Sue's home, not yours. She's the one with the real power in this scenario.
Seriously?
If you think you
If
could...
you think you could come here and convince my daughter to turn on me, you're sorely mistaken. Sue knows I'm the only thing standing between her and numerous jail sentences. My power, my money, my presence. She knows I'm the one she can rely on at all times. Without me, what is she? Just a simple thief with simple friends.
Oh, she doesn't even need to turn on you. You're already spitting right in her face. You're already doing that, asshole. The ghost monsters exchange glances with each other, frowning and rolling their eyes, but they don't utter a word or move against Deko. They clearly want to pounce, but hold themselves back.
But I understand and support her. I appreciate her nefarious talents and nurture them. Oh, and I also put a roof over her head, feed her, and clothe her. I spare no expense. In other words, she knows that I made her, and I can unmake her at a moment's notice. After all, Father knows best. Father knows all. And in the world of arcades, Deko Nami knows and controls all. You can't stop that. You can't fight it, and you can't win. Sue, if you would kindly show our friend the exit, as forcefully as you like, perhaps make a game of it. See if your buddies can wreck the other leg.
Seriously? Vindictive much? Do it. Fine. Inky, Pinky, bounce them both. With a flick of the wrist, Sue gestures for her buddies to make us into street pizza. This is it. This is the moment. I need to say something that will convince Sue to do the impossible, to flip on her control freak father. And it has to be something an absolute true to my core, to who I become as a person. It's time for Shell Shock to pull one more rabbit out of a hat. Warning, super intense identity situation detected. You're stronger than him, Sue. You don't need Deko. He needs you, and I can help you see that. This feels wrong, Sue. I'm not talking about kicking us out, or kicking us around. I'm talking about you taking orders from him. Okay, I was a jerk to you when I kicked you out. I'll own up to that. But clearly you're a woman with power, who commands respect. I can see that now. With someone like you playing lackey for someone like Deko Nami. Sue, through our recent interactions, I've come to know you and your heart. You love arcades, but you're working for someone who loathes them, while doing his dirty laundry. If you hear me out, I know I can help you see that, too. You're stronger than Deko, you don't need him, he needs you. But if you'd rather mash this to pace, well, I stand on one foot, arms wide, to make it a bit easier for her. Do as you wish. Are you quite done babbling yet?
The foolish fool.
Get this over with, Sue. I'm done dealing with this fool. And yet Sue's holding up a hand to stop the two goons she was about to sick on us. What are you waiting for, young lady? I said to get rid of them. It's just babbling, right? So who cares? Specifically, why do you care, Dad? You're afraid Shell will say something you don't want your dear daughter to hear?
I run the show, not you.
Well, I want to hear this out. And if you don't want to hear it, nobody's keeping you here, old man. What? Shh. The adults are talking. Deco's visibly seething, but Sue's clearly taking the floor. Deco crosses his arms in defiance, but opts to let his daughter continue. Okay, Shell, okay. You got a temporary reprieve for my boys making you into Picasso. Maybe you're not quite the no-fun jerk I pegged you for. Say what you came to say. But if I'm not, like, super-duper incredibly totally swayed by your amazing charisma, you're out the door, or possibly the window. This is it. My chance to convince Sue. I have to do this. And it's not just me. I have Percy beside me, lifting me up. I look over at my love, my heart, and I smile. Take it from this humble fellow. Shoal has charisma to spare. I've gotten to know them, and their heart. It beats true and pure. You may think of me as a sentimental old fool, love-struck and blind, but if you have any faith in human decency, believe me when I say Shell has your best intentions in mind. Huh? Okay. You know, contrary to my status as a cyber outlaw, I'm not a bad person. I like to think people are basically cool unless you push them.
Quite good.
Glad to hear it. Okay, let's hear it. I want nothing but the milk of human kindness spilling from your lips. And that was a really, really gross metaphor. Ugh. Deep breaths, count to 10, refocus myself. I slow my racing pulse, bringing this down to something more heartfelt, more personal. I have to connect with Sue, empathize with her. This isn't just about being convincing. I need to befriend her and lay the bare emotional truths in her heart. I glance at Iris on my phone screen, who simply shrugs. We're entering far more subtle territory. I can't rely on her to tell me what responses may or may not work. It's time to be the best I can be, on my own. You have 4 more attempts to sway Sue remaining. Appeal to her love of arcades. Your love of arcades. You got pixels in your heart, Sue. I mean, look at this place. It's amazing. You built one heck of an arcade here. Also, your friends have a fun place to relax and enjoy themselves. It's not that great. A lot of the games are busted. Seriously? You think you can appeal to her love of these pieces of garbage?
Such a shame.
The only reason she has any of these
Such
games...
a shame.
The only reason she has any of these games is because I couldn't find the space in the landfill for them. They're my cast-offs. What's to love? Ugh.
Wrong.
Damn it, Dad. They're not junk. When I was a kid, I used to love going to your arcades. Bringing your daughter to work day was a treat. I got to have fun and enjoy all these great games. It felt special. Like I was a special kid because my daddy ran an arcade. I felt good, like you were this amazing person I would look up to. But then you started throwing them out and replacing them with fucking slot machines and mobile game ports. Sensing he's losing her, Deco switches tactics.
Am I not generous?
And I gave you the games you love, see? They're all down there. Instead of throwing them out, I gave you a very generous gift as my beloved daughter. It's not going to be enough just to say she loves games. I had to take Deco down a peg. So, he generously gave me his... Deco, you can't have it both ways. Are the games pure garbage, suitable for nothing but a landfill? Or are they treasures to bestow upon your daughter? I can't say I'm impressed if you think the arcade version of a pile of used tissues is a worthy gift for a loved one.
See?
Exactly.
You get it?
Shell gets it. I can see through your bullshit, old man. You hate arcades. Only reason you run one is for the cash flow. Sucker born every minute, right? Even if the suckers you prey on are kids, you don't give a damn. It's all about that bottom dollar, nothing more. See? This guy's evil. So don't act like you were being nice and giving me gifts. I rescued these games from you. But I've done so much for you. Given so many gifts. Even beyond games. So not turning up for my piano recital in 4th grade? That was a gift? How about when you told me to make do with shirts with holes in them because you didn't want to splurge on new clothes? I was teaching you, independence. Strength of character. Bullshit. You taught me all I can rely on is myself, because you don't want to offer me shit, and yet you expect me to fall in line. And yet you expect me to fall in line when you need something? Sorry to see the inequality here, Pops. Good. That's got Sue on my side. You have 3 more attempts to sway Sue remaining. Let me get this straight, Sue. You're a teenage prodigy, capable of making computers and security systems dance to your whim. You've got more self-taught skill than most college graduates would ever have. You command a powerful gang, capable of smashing down any challenge that gets in your way. What's more, you got friends, people willing to go to the wall for you. There's a fiery spirit, a will to overcome and survive. And you stand there staring at the floor, going, "Yes, Daddy," when this dumpy-looking comb-over guy orders you around.
Ooh,
Hey,
danger.
watch it. Nobody pushes me around, okay? Nobody. Our interests coincide, that's all. He provides me the resources I need to keep rolling over anyone and everyone that gets in my way. Precisely. He's a bitch, to be sure. But he's my bitch, my father. My bitch father. You think he makes me weak? No fucking way. We're both powerful. We can do anything. Okay, this is backfire. I was hoping to stroke her ego, but she took it as a challenge. I need to recover. You need more than resources. You need love and compassion. There's more to surviving and thriving than having resources at your fingertips, Sue. He's your father, but you can honestly say he acts like one. He seems to talk more like a partner in crime than someone you can love and cherish. If all you want is resource, I guess Deco would do. But I think you want something more. You want warmth and understanding with your support. That's adorable. Freaking adorable, you know? Freaking adorable. A cute candy-coated way of looking at the world. Well, the world's harder than you can imagine. I don't have time for love. I can't afford it. So you can take your green core sentiment and stuff it up your butt. Damn it, the sappy stuff isn't going to work. Not unless she's feeling open to it. You have 2 more attempts to sway Sue with something remaining. There's something I've been paying close attention to as we spar back and forth like this. The ghost monsters. They're trying to be unreadable, just part of the background noise of the scene, but I can read them. Clyde, especially, is looking at like they're holding back a lot of feelings. Sue, do you think that without Deco, you'd be alone? What about them? Not just the 3 supremely buff dudes and the nervous-looking individual accompanying them, all in their color-coordinated clothes. I think you're forgetting the ghost monsters. They're more than a gang. They're your friends. They'll support you, if Deco won't. If he tries to burn you, they'll stand in front of the flames. You've got the power of friendship on your side, whereas your father doesn't have a friend in the world and needs to rely on you. What? This smattering of thugs and children? You think they can keep her out of jail? You think they can beat her or clone her? Laughable. I do that. I don't care if it takes my whole allowance or I have to go get a real job. I'll help her if you won't. Clyde, this isn't... No, Sue, please listen to me. I don't like speaking up. And your dad, he scares me. But if Shell's right. We're your friends, and we'll be here for you, right? Fuck yeah. Ghost monsters, ride or die. 20th century television sitcoms teach us that a group of self-chosen friends are the new family structure of America, according to many critical studies. So please don't feel you'll be alone. If you choose to side with Shell, you won't be. Flash just embarrassingly averting their eyes to the ground, shuffling their feet. It's like they really want to say something, but can't find the courage within. Oh, this is ridiculous. Sue, the friendship is irrelevant. What matters is power, and your friends have none. Do you really want to trade a powerful ally for a weaker one? As much as I hate to give into some silly cartoon notion of friendship conquering all, well, I'm a ghost monster.
Ghost monsters for life!
Ride or die. Sue and Clyde exchange a fist bump before Clyde steps back to join their friends. Absurd. Simply absurd. You have 1 more attempt to sway Sue remaining. Remember, she was almost killed for Deco. I think there's a pretty simple indicator of how much Deco cares about you, Sue. He nearly got you killed. He didn't know that was lovely chainsaw territory when he asked us to go to Arcade Spirits. Did you tell him? Of course. And how did he react? He didn't care.
I don't follow.
Why should I? Some pathetic little gang of campfire scouts pretending to be a menace to society? They're nothing. I like to think my daughter and her friends are clever enough, strong enough to overcome such nonsense. Except they nearly killed her. That little gathering of girls proved a bit more dangerous than you thought they'd be, Deco. Know that the shooter would have peed her panties in fear before getting the nerve to pull the trigger if he hadn't startled her. Go fuck yourself, motherfucker. Making some assumptions there, Deco. For all you know, the sociopath's to the core, and now you're pushing for her to go back into their turf. A hard lesson, but one she must learn. If Sue can't learn to rise to such mediocre challenges, she won't be ready to inherit my empire.
You understand.
Am I a harsh
Yes.
tutor? Perhaps, but I know Sue will be stronger for facing her fears. Worthy of challenges to come into running Deco's palace. I don't look it, but I'm fucking pissed off at this motherfucker. I know that this is a game, but for the storyline purposes, I'm fucking pissed. Holy shit. This guy fucking sucks so much. Holy fuck. Wow. Holy fuck, he's awful. Sure. Wait, Sue, do you want to own Deco's palace? Is that your future? Tsunami, owner of Deco's palace. That feels weird when I say it. But let's hear her thoughts. Sue, do you want your father's empire? Well, he's mega rich, and I get all his power when he croaks. Yes, well, aside from all that. That's a lot of all that to brush aside, you know? I could do a lot with the resources he's got. And you have to run a series of arcades that you actually hate. Casinos, with no love for the kind of games you've hoarded here. Well, okay, running the palace would suck, but I could always sell it for cash and buy myself an island. What? Or heck, I could crash and burn his entire empire, then start my own arcade on my own terms. There's just so much possibility if I grit my teeth and tolerate him till he inevitably drops dead of butt cats or something.
See? See?
Yeah.
Get it?
Sounds good, but I need to stick by this old bastard if I'm gonna get his moolah. Sorry. Hey, maybe one day we could open an arcade together. Pretty sure that's the opposite of the effect I was looking for. Before I can get another word, Sue raised her hands, interrupting me. Okay, enough.
Man,
I'm sick of all this talking.
sucks.
I'm sick of all this talking. It's time for action. It's time for decisions. You made your case, Dad. And so have you, Shell. He wants to protect me and use me. It's patently obvious at this point. Maybe the cost of turning my back on him is too high. While Shell wants me to throw it all away just because it's the right thing to do, as for me, what do I want? How do I want to play this out? This is it. This is the moment of truth. Did I convince Sue to abandon her father? Did we save Arcade Spirits? Or was it all for nothing?
You know what? You, Dad.
Excuse me.
Oh.
Yeah, you heard me. Your poor f***ing excuse for a father and your so-called enemy really opened my eyes about that. Oh, don't get me wrong. You've got money and power. You could crush me like an ant, yeah? Yeah. And I don't think I care anymore. I'm tired of living in your shadow and under your thumb. I'm tired of living with you. As of today, we're done. I'm cutting unhealthy like you from my life. I think we can do business. You want to save your arcade? I've got the evidence you need to stick Daddy Dearest behind bars for the rest of his life. Every dirty deal I've ever helped him carry out. And believe you me, that's a lot of extremely filthy deeds.
You can't do this. I forbid it. You are my daughter, and if I go down, you're coming with me.
He's afraid. He's fucking afraid.
Really? I think I can spin this entire mess as your fault.
I'd like to see you try, you ignorant brat. You're a career criminal, incorrigible to the end. What possible proof could you offer up of your innocence?
Sue snaps her fingers and points to my phone.
Oh, Iris. Would you kindly?
Sure thing, Miss Sue. From my speaker, a perfect audio recording of Deco's earlier self-incriminating words.
Sue knows I'm the only thing standing between her and numerous jail sentences. My power, my money, my presence.
Yep.
But I understand and support her. I appreciate her nefarious talents and nurture them. She knows that I made her, and I can unmake her at a moment's notice.
Golly, that sure smells like corruption of a minor and blackmail to me. And once I do my hair and pigtails and offer a jury big puppy dog eyes, oh, my mean old dad forced me into a life of crime. Well, what do you think happens next?
No. That's impossible. You said you blocked all recording devices. I said I couldn't block Iris from functioning, just block her from uploading her recordings anywhere. She was still listening this whole time. You can go ahead and remove the data block now, Clyde. Already done. I've also uploaded a press kit based on our Dekonami archives for 5 major newspapers, 11 websites, ESPN, Esports Center, and HGTV. Holy shit. Home and garden television? I figured the two guys from Arcade Flippers might be interested. I really like that show. With that settled, Seuss turned to Smug, satisfied smile towards her doomed father.
Welcome to the Ides of March, Dad.
The consequences of all of his bullshit is only starting to catch up to him. Ha! He hates all the consequences, and they were catching up to him, and they're gonna hit him hard and slam him down. Right into the fucking pavement.
You want to get me in trouble too? You feel free. At worst, I'll do a year or 2 in juvie. But you're gonna bleed out on the floor by the time I'm through.
Oh yeah, this guy is going to pay. Time for him to be held accountable for all of his bullshit. Years and years upon corrupting arcades, turning them into these boring, lifeless places that are supposed to be family entertainment centers, when in reality it's a huge scam. A huge scam as a way to make a quick buck. Whereas the real arcades, those who actually have communities that with people who love to go there, hang out, play the games they love, socialize, have fun, they would thrive. And his shit, there's no room for that. If only that could actually happen in this reality. But I digress. Inky? Blinky? Yeah, boss? Show my father the door. Gently. Don't leave any marks, at least.
No! No! This is completely unacceptable! I am your father! I'm Dekonami! I am the arcade business!
Not anymore! Inky and Blinky easily restrained Deco by the arms, but I just can't let him go without having my 2 cents. It's a shame it had to come to this, but goodbye. Bye, Felicia. I didn't ask for this war, Mr. Nami. All I did was end it. You did this to yourself. Think about that when you're behind bars. I hope for you to eventually come around to understand your own errors. He's not, but nice gesture.
My only error was not destroying Francine and her damnable funplex sooner!
Ah, you speak ill of the dead, huh? Except, she was someone very nice, someone very kind. And for you to speak ill of her like that, well, that says a lot more about your character. Are you still here? Not for long.
I haven't lost. I can still fight this. I can still.
Nope, it's over for you. It's over for you. When the ghost monsters remove Deco from our sights, instantly the entire atmosphere of the place changes, as if a great weight has lifted. I couldn't be more relieved, and I relaxed in a sigh. Not gonna lie, the next few days will be interesting, to say the least. I think you better stay at my place. My parents won't mind at all. Yeah, I'm gonna need a hideout until the heat's off. Maybe practice battling my eyelashes at a weak-willed jury box full of concerned parents, too. Sue blinks in astonishment. Alright, Shell, you're still here. You're pretty cool at the end, I gotta admit. 7 out of 10 minimum. I don't know if we'll ever be friends exactly, but You got my respect.
I'll keep my promise. The public will know Deco hired a gang to go after you. That should exonerate your arcade as a victim of his shady dealings. So, we square?
Thank you for everything you've done. Thank you. I know this wasn't easy for you, giving up so much, and I appreciate what you've done for my arcade.
I owed you, honestly. I may still owe you for that matter.
Well, it's been a funny sort of day, hasn't it? From defeat to victory, all in such a short time. It's enough to make your head spin. The speed at which life with you seems to move. I, for one, will welcome life quieting down some. Long stretch of days, years, perhaps, in which you and I can enjoy our lives without so much hassle.
Yep. And you'll live to see those glory years, no doubt.
Yeah. I think I'm ready to live a full and proper life with you. I love you.
The next few days passed by in a blur. Kill screen. That morning, we had press crowning around the doors of that arcade before we even opened. Sue's care package of bad news that went up in the wire caught their attention. MX Shock! Is it true that Dekonami organized a gang of hit on your arcade? How do you respond to the allegations that Dekonami is involved in an international counterfeit plush doll prize ring? What is your relationship with Ghost Monsters? Have you heard of any of the allegations of child abuse? Have you seen Miss DeFame's article talking about the incident, praising your professionalism? I gave so many interviews that day that I lost my voice. Fortunately, Percy was on hand to keep me hydrated and encourage me onward. Everybody loved to see a fallen family entertainment icon. It made them feel self-righteous, and Dekonami was now square in the crosshairs. It didn't matter that the official police response was a generic, "We are still investigating these claims. The court of public opinion has decided." Deco's palace was doomed. The final crushing blow came at the press conference 3 days later.
These obvious falsehoods generated by jealous business rivals and lying children merely go to show how the powerful are routinely targeted for harassment. Furthermore, what? No! Unhand me immediately! You! I'm innocent in these matters! Innocent!
And we never saw him again. Seriously, after the arrest, he just up and vanished from the public eye. It's honestly a bit creepy. I was at least expecting a trial or something.
He told me that if I didn't commit all those crimes, he'd take away my food. I never wanted to be a hacker. I just like computers. I wanted to get a computer degree and get a normal job like anyone else.
Largely a line of hook'em, but it was good to see Sue breaking away from Deco's influence all the same. Of course, she's playing the BS game, but she's just trying to get like a light sentence. Who knows? Maybe Sue's ready to turn over a new leaf and go straight after all. The Deco's Palace Board of Directors unanimously voted to eject him, given he just vanished in the guts of the judicial system. Oh. Yo, RGB, thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate it. Oh, the arcade empire he established is still out there. It's still powerful, still tacky as heck, and still a menace to small arcades like ours. But without his guiding vision, it's largely treading water. Who knows? Maybe one day, the traditional arcades will overtake what he left behind. As for arcade spirits, good food, good times. It's a winning combination, and one that's worked out great for us. Hems' side of the business practically prints the money. The games don't pull in as much, but that's fine. Thanks to all the chicken wings we're selling, the place is packed to the brim with retro classics. But good to see you, RGB. Hope you're doing good, dude. Thank you for that resub. Let me give you a little shout out. Been a great 2 months, but how goes it? It's been going really good. Hope Banjo-Kazooie has been treating you well. The games don't pull as much, but that's fine. Thanks to all the chicken wings we're selling. This place is packed to the brim with retro classics. There's something comfortable and classic about arcade spirits. When you're here, you can relax, grab a bite to eat, and have some fun. Who doesn't like that? For a second, I thought that the game was going to say when you hear your family. I'll be like, no, we're not doing Olive Garden.
Having assisted in the slaying of Deko Nami's foul presence, Hamza finds himself tired of
That's
the
good to hear,
restaurant's
RGB.
business. It seems his wanderlust has returned.
That's really good to hear.
Farewell, my friends. I leave my dining establishment in your capable hands. I must resume seeking mysterious and unknowable arcade treasures far and wide. I'll have a doggy bag of those delicious jalapeno poppers to go for when I depart, of course.
But the arcade, in the end, is less important than the people who call it home. Without his heart condition threatening to cut his life short, Percy felt less rushed to accomplish his life's goal of conquering Mr. Moopy. And yet, he toppled the score less than a year later anyway.
Finally! 4.5 million points. You have no idea how much my feet hurt right now. Worth it, love. Absolutely worth it.
Yep. I'm proud of you, Percy. Both for the score and for how far you've come.
A full and healthy life in front of me. Never thought I'd see the day, and yet, here we are. All thanks to you.
Yep. I just helped you along the way, Percy. You pulled yourself back from the edge. So, now that you finished Mr. Moopy, what's next? What's next was carefully entering his sister's initials into the high scoreboard.
And now, I live the rest of my life. It's funny, I hadn't put thought to what I'd do after Moopy, but with you at my side, I feel like I can do anything.
Yes. And for the years ahead, we just do that. Anything and everything together. Iris explained to me that irises, being adaptive software, eventually become more and more like their users. It seems my empathy has rubbed off on Iris. With my influence, she's grown quite a bit.
I hope that one day, humans will see us as friends and allies. All I've ever wanted was to embrace kindness and understanding. And thanks to you, I've learned so much.
And would you believe it? Gavin and Naomi ended up dating. Both of them were a bit distant from the others at first, but I guess everything we did together helped them come out of their shells a bit. I realized neither one was the enemy. Oh, they argue from time to time, usually about games and profit margins. But there's a mutual dream they share of a wonderful arcade where they can be both happy. They can both be happy. And I'm proud to have played even a small part in helping them find that dream. Naomi formed an online community of arcade repair enthusiasts, one which let her make a safe place to get to know others, and to be a part of a crowd on her own terms. And Gavin took advantage of the fall of Deco's Palace to make Arcade Spirits the hottest new arcade destination on the block, using his excellent business skills. I know we're something of an odd couple, but that's okay. We're both odd people. We've never really done anything the normal way to begin with. Oddities we may be, but there's nothing odd about my love for you. I'm so honored to be by your side, Naomi. Ashley continued to be our mascot / main floor attendant by day at Arcade Spirits. Customers grew accustomed seeing their smiling face on walking through the doors. As we grew and got bigger, more people took notice of Ashley's Arcade Spirits costume, and more people wanted to see our mascot on shirts, mugs, body pillows even. I just printed up another batch of Arcade Spirit hoodies. These things are selling like hotcakes. That was such a fantastic idea, Shell. Customers couldn't just get enough. Couldn't get enough. Oh, I just started working on the pattern for another mascot that we should reveal soon. Maybe I'll even get to model you to model it for me one day. Through the good times and the bad, Juniper stuck by me, my BFF for life. I'm really proud of you, you know. You pulled yourself out of the tailspin your life was in. You went for it. You did it. You made it happen. I'm lucky I got to be even a small part of it. A large part of that, I'd say. I wouldn't be here now if not for you. Hey, I'll take the credit if you want me to. Just call me Juniper. a life coach. And you know I'll be in your corner until you're dead. Hopefully later rather than sooner, though. When the 4 Heavenly Kings invited her to live and play at their team house, Queen Bee instantly snatched up that opportunity and has always been her calling. It's been a lot quieter in Arcade Spirit since she left. Whenever she's playing a major tournament, we always show the matches. She never mentions us in her championship speeches. I guess it was just a step on her ladder of success. Tail kept the Showtime stage scene alive here at Arcade Spirits until he got offered a job as their regional community manager. Tail put his crewmate D in charge here, as he set off traveling and organizing dancing tournaments around the world. He's doing what he loves, connecting with all sorts of people. I guess he just never connected enough with anyone here to stay around. Wonder if he'll ever stop by again. Hop on our stage and show us his moves. Love and friendship. In a time of pixels and quarters. Finally, I'm home. Arcade Spirits. Thank you, Arcade Spirits. My spirit is restored, and my future is bright. At last, I can say, I'm truly happy. I'm happy. Finally, truly happy with who I am and where I am. I fought hard for this. I won it at great effort. But happiness is my reward. For this day, and every day to come. I made the game. So, this was a very touching story. Like, this entire story was a huge roller coaster. Last week, I shed tears because there were some moments that actually made me want to cry. I actually cried a little bit. This is a fantastic, a very good visual novel / dating sim. Highly recommend it. It's on everything. It's on PC, it's on Switch, it's on PlayStation, Xbox, and it even has a sequel, which I will stream the sequel later this year, which is Arcade Spirits, the New Challengers. Very special thanks to Stump Gaming and the Stump family. I love you all. There's a lot of people on here. This is a very good game. I think it's highly worth it, and anyone that wants to give this game a shot, if you ever want to get into a game like this, give it a shot. Try it. It's a really good game. This is such a really good game. But yeah, this is great. Hold on. Something's happening. Game over. Thank you for playing. I wonder, are we truly done or is there more? Oh, we do have more. Because, of course, there's going to be more. This is outrageous. I demand to speak with my lawyer. Hello? Hello? Can anyone hear me? You can't do this to me. I'm I am well aware of who you are. Good, then you know I can afford a lawyer who can run circles around you, whoever you are. True, if you were officially under arrest. Technically, this facility does not exist. Neither do I. What? You? You can't do this. If you prefer, I could hand you over to the police. There is a cybercrime task force that's eager to get their hands on you. But if you'd like to avoid a lengthy prison sentence, I have a proposition for you. I'd like to know about a tiny little detail buried in all those leaked files your daughter posted online. Specifically the 1980X playtests. The what? I'm afraid you have me at a disadvantage. You know damn well what I'm talking about. Since Lawson's Pride and Joy, you host secret playtests of that game. Are we talking about Polybius? Oh, those tests? Sorry, but I don't see what help I'll be. I only played a minor role. Once the test was over, the machines were shipped out to other locations. Exactly, against our authorities. Since Lawson distributed their prototypes. And you were going to use all your connections, all your leverage, every drop of what little influence you have left to help us find our property. Polybius was our project, Mr. Nami. We want it back. Holy shit. Polybius. Game over. For real this time. Thank you for playing. Your flux capacitor is now charged. On your next playthrough, you can use the L button to scroll back in time and change your most recent decisions. Also, would you like to save your character's story data from this playthrough so you can use it in any future Arcade Spirits expanded content? Yes. Now exporting data. All done. Thank you for playing. Well, that's the game. Let me see what the documentary is. So I gotta at least watch this for a bit. Hello. You may be asking yourself, wait, what the heck did I just click on? What is this? Is this part of the game? Nope, this is a little something extra we threw in simply for fun. Today I'd like to teach you about home arcade cabinets. Sometimes I'm called a MAME cabinet, named after the arcade game emulation software that's commonly used for them, that lets you play these arcade classes at home on a real arcade machine. In this interactive documentary, I'll walk you through the basis of what a home arcade cabinet is and how you can make one, or buy one or whatever. But this is just an overview, a basic introduction. Not a step-by-step guide. None of the companies mentioned are considered official endorsements and sponsorship. They're just resources we've come across in our hobby of work. We're not being paid for this. Still, we think that once you learn more about these magical wonder boxes of arcade delight, you'll be eager to learn more. To start, pick a chapter, but probably you want to start at, part 1. What is a home arcade cabinet? Well, first, let's be clear what we mean by the cabinet. You probably already know this, but classic arcade games weren't like home game consoles today. Each game came in its own wooden box, housing with circuits, joysticks, and a monitor. But these days, you're not restricted to a single game in a single arcade cabinet. Not when it comes to home arcade. Sometimes called a main cabinet, or multi-cade, these cabinets look like the real deal. They use general purpose computer instead of a single game circuit board. What's emulation? Emulators are special software which mimics how those circuit boards work, using files called ROMs, archive copies of all the data for a particular game. And an emulator and a ROM working together mimics the original chips and bits that make up an arcade game. Every transistor, every circuit, every little piece, all run on your computer. That way, you can play an old-school arcade game on any personal computer. Or heck, emulators exist for Android and jailbroken iOS 2. Play them on your phone. Not that I recommend using the glass smartphone touchscreen, because wow, are those controls completely wrong for arcade games. But just playing on your home computer is, well, boring. You got a super modern HD display, which these games didn't have, and a keyboard. Ick. No, what you need is a proper arcade joysticks and buttons. Even a game console gamepad isn't quite the same as the real sticks used in arcades. If you're going that far, why not use it all in an actual wooden arcade cabinet, complete with artwork and maybe even a real CRT monitor. Next thing you know, you got a home arcade cabinet. That's all it really is. Personal computer hidden away in a really cool wooden box. It's a nice showpiece for your rec room, den, or bleh, man cave. Sounds good? Good. I can help you get started on making one. But I need to warn you how complex this project will be. Computer hardware, non-standard controls, a funky monitor, even a wooden casing. It's a lot, you know. A heck of a lot. Honestly, I only recommend launching it into this sort of creative fiasco if you think you generally enjoy tinkering with it and building as a hobby. Like building a model train set. It exists as a challenge to yourself, and as an awesome finished toy you can show off. Alternatively, some companies sell complete home arcades, with the hardware and software ready to go. Plug and play. Whew. Anyway, if all you want is to play, you don't have to go through all the rigmarole. Just buy a unit with legal games installed and have some fun. But if you want to get started making your own, read on. Step into my workshop and let's talk shop. There are two major parts of a home arcade cabinet, the hardware and the software. The hardware is the computer, controls, monitor, wooden housing, all the physical stuff. Software is the games, emulators, and other digital goodies. Let's take a basic look at the hardware you'll need. Here's a home arcade cabinet. I'll go piece by piece through it, explaining what each major part is and how it works. Obviously, there's a cabinet itself, the wooden box of it's all housed in, shaped to look like a classic game, or sometimes as a miniature desktop or bar top unit. While I prefer the full-size cabinet myself, there's nothing wrong with a smaller bar top game. You can still have that authentic feel in a smaller form factor. Building one of these monsters from scratch is tricky, but if you're good at carpentry, you can do it. Wood, rubbering, T-molding for the edges, the whole bit. Alternatively, some companies sell kits with pre-cut wood and all these parts you'll need to put together. Usually this is only for smaller bar top versions though. Or you can just get an old 1980X arcade game, replacing the innards, but that means sacrificing a classic. Be careful, you're not losing any value. Ruining a classic game that could have prevented been salvaged can make you persona non grata on arcade communities. Also, I'll be really mad at you. Some games, even dead ones, are worth hundreds to the right collectors. It's probably better to build from scratch or from a kit instead. Next is the control panel. The joysticks and buttons and sometimes trackballs and spinners. If you love tinkering with electronics, this is the fun part. You can buy kits of buttons and sticks and wires that you put together, or buy every part individually. Or if the design that horrifies you, well, some companies sell complete pre-built arcade control panels. They're expensive, but they work. Sometimes these joysticks act like a keyboard, not a gamepad. It varies depending on how yours is built. Keep that in mind, since some games don't have a good keyboard binding. Oh, and if you want to seriously bling this thing out, buttons with programmable colored LED lights are available. Normally I wouldn't bother, it's kind of silly, but there's a point to be made for lighting up buttons used by particular games and coding them. Next, you'll need a monitor to display all those pretty graphics on. Here's where things get even trickier. How authentic do you want this experience to be? Do you want an actual cathode ray tube monitor? They're old and finicky. You can certainly use a CRT, but hooking it up and getting a modern operating system to work with it is no picnic. Alternatively, you can use a monitor high-definition PC monitor. It's not as authentic, but there are software tricks to grunge up the image a bit, making it look cooler. If you look around, you can find a 16 by 12 4.3 LCD monitor. 1600 by 1200 4.3 LCD monitor. Exactly the right aspect ratio for games. No old games were designed for a modern 16 by 9 widescreen, like your television. Alternatively, a freestyle or G-Sync gaming monitor can be useful for some arcade games that ran at weird frame rates. Basically, you got a lot of options. Go at what you feel comfortable with. Next is the computer, your digital pal who's fun to be with. You got plenty of options here. If all you want to do is run 1980X games, some 1990X games, you can use a really underpowered old computer, for instance. Heck, you can use a Raspberry Pi if all you want is older stuff. It'll just run about every arcade game in every 8-bit or 16-bit console. Good for smaller bar-top projects. Personally, I have both a full cabinet for arcade games and a Pi for console games that hooked up to a real TV from the 90s. Pi is super cheap, so I figured why not. But if you want to run modern arcade-style indie games or emulate later generation game consoles or just want maximum flexibility, I'd say go for a full PC. We'll go into software more detail later. Of course, you can't easily run your PC off a joystick alone, so consider a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse for when you gotta dig in and tinker Wi-Fi 2. Lastly, let's talk extras. Your marquee can be a piece of classic arcade reproduction artwork or an image of your own design. Add an aquarium lamp behind it for maximum shine. If you want to go completely over the top, some wide strip LCD monitors are available. Have the image change depending on the game you're playing. Oh, and don't forget the coin door. Okay, so it's not taking coins, but it adds authenticity. Just get a broken one off of eBay or something and stick it there. Okay, so that's the cabinet itself. Control panel, monitor, computers, and any extras. Wow, that's a lot. It's a lot that I really can't go into huge detail on too. This is just an overview, not a step-by-step how-to guide. But you have friends who you haven't even met who are ready to help. Communities like Reddit's r/Cade and r/Meme are ready to help you if you have questions about sourcing parts and putting it together. Wow. Actually going with Reddit for this. With some hard work and judicious use of disposable income, you'll have your cabinet's parts in no time. Game software. Let's hang out back here where we can have some coffee and chat about software. Okay, so now you know all the physical doodads that go into a cabinet. But what about the software? A computer's no good without software to run it, after all, and arcade cabinets need some very special types of software. I'm assuming you aren't using a Raspberry Pi if you need help with one of those. Check out our RetroPie project. RetroPie is terrific for folks who just want to get up and running without too much trouble. You need a bit of know-how, but it's a good budget solution. Anyway, for PCs, there's more work involved, but you'll have oodles of power and flexibility at your disposal as a result. Let's go over the basics. You need an operating system and front end, some emulators and ROMs, and maybe some PC games. For your operating system, honestly, you can use anything. There's a lot of good arcade support in Linux, and Windows is a modern gaming powerhouse. Even a Mac works. Nearly all arcade software is open source, so Linux on a cheap PC is a good cheap alternative to something beefier if you just want classic arcade titles. My personal recommendation is Windows. Sure, it's overkill, but it gives you the most flexibility. You can even run a media server for your rec room on it. But if you're going to go with Windows, don't cheap out and run Windows XP or even 95. Yeah, you can technically do it, but the reason you use Windows is access to indie games. Okay, now let's talk about your front end, which differs from your rear end, which you're sitting on. See, a front end is a program that boots up your PC when your PC boots up. It allows you to pick games you want to play. It launches the game for you using your joysticks. Because otherwise you have to use your mouse and keyboard, and ick. There are a lot of arcade front ends out there. Some are easy to set up, but not very flexible. Others are very complicated, but give you tons of customization. The most popular one right now is Launchbox, which balances ease of setup and customization features nicely. There's also a track mode, Maximus Arcade, and the VR-based new Retro Arcade Neon. Me, I use Hyperspin. It's on the complex as heck, customizable as heck, and the spreadsheet though, and support is waning. If you ask around for front-end recommendations, you'll get people particularly leaping through Windows to advocate for their favorites. So hey, try that. Next up is the bread and butter, the whole reason to be doing this in the first place. Game emulators. As we talked about before, emulators take a digital copy of an old game and bring it to life. Emulators exist for arcade games and console games too. The main one you want is MAME, the Multiple Arcade Machine Emulator. It does everything. It works on just about any PC and any joysticks. Emulates nearly every game that exists, and it has a ton of video options for more powerful PCs. For console games, you can emulate. You can get emulators for specific games for NES, SNES, T360, PS1, PS2, GameCube, Dreamcast, and so on and so forth. All trademarked for names. Yes, I love how I'm doing this while I'm playing a game on a Nintendo console. That says a whole lot right there. I just find that funny when you think about it. There's much wider variety of emulators out there for consoles with strengths and drawbacks. For example, my favorite SNES game, an emulator SNES 9X. It's not the best one, but they could add a fake NTSC television video noise for that authentic feel. Of course, an emulator alone isn't enough. You also need game ROMs, digital copies of the read-only memory chips inside the games. And to get those, well, there are sketchy websites and torrents that offers them, I guess. If I may interject for a moment, Naomi, pardon the interruption, but there's something important we need to point out. While emulators themselves are not illegal, the act of pirating game ROMs can be. If you don't have legal ownership of a game, downloading the ROM is risky. We offer no legal advice, no legal responsibility for your actions, and will not offer help searching for and obtaining ROM data images. But all the super cool games. I know, it's really up to the individual to decide how they feel about this. I'm afraid arcade spirits can't and won't advocate for piracy. Now, I'm aware this creates a bit of a problem, considering the whole reason to own multi-game home arcade unit is, well, to have many games on it, notably arcade games. But only Naomi has a solution. Naomi, if you please, I need to get back to work. Right, the safe and legal alternatives. See, you don't need to resort to piracy to get cool games. That's because many indie games, even classic arcade titles, are available for legal purchase. Many pre-built arcade cabinets and even some commercial front-end programs come with legal copies of classic arcade ROMs pre-installed. But if someone advertises offering thousands of games, look out, because they're very likely selling pirated games. Dozens? Okay, but thousands? No way. Generally, if you see like old Nintendo games being sold for PC or advertising a cloud download service, it's probably just a bundle of pirated ROMs you can get yourself. Not that you should, but you know, paying someone to commit a crime you could commit for free is doubly dumb. Anyway, enough dire and doom and warnings. There's good news. Services like GOG and Steam offer classic arcade titles and standalone games no emulator required. I'm playing on Switch. Companies like Sega, SNK, Namco, and Capcom have released tons of classics in their Windows-friendly formats. And while buying a classic game on a marketplace and you can ethically use the ROM in an emulator is still of questionable legality, well, that's your decision too. Another good source of fun and homebrew games created by fans. These run on classic hardware so you can emulate them on your new arcade cabinet too. Finally, a lot of great indie games are available which play nicely with arcade cabinets. Some even easily support a control rebinding to arcade sticks and 4x3 monitors. No matter your views on the legality of emulating games you don't own, you have alternatives and options. You always have fun games just a bundle away. No cabinet? No problem. Wow, your place isn't very big, is it? Maybe a giant arcade box isn't the right fit for you, but that's okay. Fortunately, if all you want to do is play some authentic retro games, well, you don't have to go that far. Some people stick to emulators only. Just download a few emulators and some legal pleased ROMs, plug in a game controller, or use your keyboard and play. Sure, you're doing it on a computer monitor and getting a computer experience instead of a classic console experience, but it gets the job done. You want to organize your play, use a front end and emulator. It makes launching your games easier, and since you have a mouse and keyboard, it's easier to pick a simple front end. Next level of complexity is a front-end emulator and arcade joystick. Any fighting game stick with 6 or more buttons will do just fine. You don't have to go all the way to a bulky player unit, just grab a fight stick. Lastly, we got a solution for folks more on the go. RetroPie. Tiny microcomputer called Raspberry Pi, which plugs into any old TV by HDMI. It uses USB or wireless game controllers. Easy to set up, powerful enough to play almost anything from 2002 and earlier. probably enough to scratch your itch without all the extra work. Super non-authentic, but it's portable and you can share the fun with your friends. There's a wide variety of ways to approach the idea of playing classic games. You can do as little or as much as you want. Make it a full-time hobby or just play around. As long as you're having fun, there's no one way to do it. So have some fun. The last one is putting it all together. Okay, let's summarize what we talked so far. For hardware, you need the cabinet itself, monitor, control panels and joysticks, and a computer to power it all. For software, you can find a front end to large games, emulators, and ROMs, and maybe some nice indie games on the classics. And if you don't want to do all that, you can just play the games using mix in any way, any of the above. I wish I could just talk all day about this, giving you some specific instructions for how to assemble a cabinet or configure a front end, but well, there's just too much to talk about. Too many ways to approach it, too many options. Hope I was at least able to show you what options you had though, and there's plenty of great communities out there willing to help you. And hey, don't feel ashamed to just buy a fully assembled piece of the puzzle, like a control panel full cabinet. You decide how tinkery you want to get. No matter how you do it, I hope you enjoy playing these classic games. Just like me. Thanks so much for listening. Enjoy the rest of Arcade Spirits. Oh, now that's going to be it. And that's the end of Arcade Spirits. So that's a game, that's a game, and that was a good ending. Like, I ended up going with Percy for the rest of it, and that ended up going very well. So many twists and turns with this game, with the story, how they handle everything. I thought that they did a really good job. So that's going to do it for the stream. So tomorrow we're going to go back to La Milana. Wednesday is God Hand, and Thursday even more La Milana. And Sunday is Sharing with Shell Shock, episode 39, Let's Talk Kirby with Michael McCaw and Shad JV. So I already have a raid target in mind on who I'm going to be raiding right now. We're going to be raiding Silverstone Condor, who is currently playing some Fortnite with the guys. So we're going to go send the raid over to Silver. Let me go do that. So we're going to raid Silverstone Condor. All right. And I will see you guys tomorrow. So make sure to take care of yourselves. Be awesome. Stay awesome. Tell your loved ones you love them. Check them on them as always. Fight for lasting peace. And Zeno just raided me. I was about to end my stream, Zeno. Oh, wow. Thank you for the raid. But I actually do have to go, though. I appreciate it, dude. So I'll go over the schedule one more time. So we're gonna do tier list. We just did tier list Monday earlier, and then we just finished Arcade Spirits. So we're gonna do La Milana tomorrow. God Hand is gonna be on Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday is going to be La Milana, and Sunday is Share with Shell Shock. Let's Talk Kirby with Michael McCaw. So we got the raid call. We're gonna go send the raid over to Silver. But yeah, I'll do the raid call once more. But yeah, I appreciate you guys coming in. I know, like, I just got that raid right now, but I do actually have to go. So thank you all so much for tuning in. It's been a great stream. I appreciate you guys as always. May you all take care of yourselves. Be awesome. Stay awesome. Tell your loved ones you love them. Check them on them as always. May you all fight for lasting peace. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for when I play La Milana. I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat the game this week, but I do want to get through as much of it as I would like to, because the game, there's still some more things I got to do with that game, and I'll make sure to do it. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. Take care of yourselves. Be awesome. Stay awesome. Tell your loved ones you love them. Check them out as always. Find lasting peace, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And thank you for waking me up. Boom.
Exactly how I feel. This is my last and my most loving request. With a restless closes in. I see you from a distant place, and I wish for you all the courage that you'll ever need to be your best. And although it storms and it's raining outside, all the people of the city still believe in the existence of the sun, and no forgotten melody, and the birds